Starfleet, the Age of the Lords. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76, Making a Level 3 Perfect Genetic Potion. The two people's way back was filled with laughter, and Feng Mo also took this opportunity to take advantage. As a result, when the speed car arrived at the starport, Chu Yunjian's face was still red with embarrassment after getting off the car. Starport number 1. Feng Mo gently held Chu Yunjian in his arms and said softly, "Yunjian, wait for me. The storm galaxy is not the end. One day I will conquer a large territory, and it will be easy to establish a king and a country. When the time comes, I will lead the fleet to the Chu family to propose marriage, okay? HMPH, I don't know how many women you will propose to by then, but you must promise me one thing. After the founding of the country, I, Chu Yunjian, must be the queen, and all other women will be concubines." Chu Yunjian, who was in Feng Mo's arms, said a little shyly. As he spoke, he gently pinched the soft flesh of Feng Mo's waist with his small hands. "Okay, my queen, I promise you." Feng Mo can still make the decision on this point. As for Elle, she will only be Feng Mo's general. She is not suitable to be raised in the rear, but was born for the battlefield. Existence. In the interstellar age, there has never been monogamy. It is just a protection for the weak. Powerful women can still marry many men, so the real Southern Quan and Northern Quan are only for ordinary people. The society has been peaceful for a long time. We need to find some opposites for people to attract society's attention. In Chu Yunjian's reluctance, Feng Mo made a series of promises to her, then turned back to the storm. After calming down, he sat on the ship's chair and ordered, "Huaqian, send this list of raw materials to the Snow Eagle Chen family and tell them to prepare urgently." "Yes," Huaqian responded. Feng Mo dialed Al's video communication. After the video was connected, Feng Mo asked, "How's it going, Al? Has the deal with Demon Galaxy been implemented?" Al across from him should be patrolling the fleet and spoke very formally. "Lord Commander, the deal with the Demonic Galaxy has been implemented. The first batch of slaves has been traded to a population of 1 billion, of which humans and humanoids account for 90%. And other races account for 10%. A deposit of 1 million star coins has been paid, and it is agreed to be paid in 1 year. Goods. These slaves are worth at least nearly 200 million star coins." Feng Mo was also secretly surprised after hearing this. The profit was very large. A slave with a population of 1 billion was worth nearly 200 million. Which meant that 1 star coin could buy 5 slaves on average. This price was too low. Feng Mo bought these 1 billion people and could make more than 5 times the profit once he sold them. Of course, the premise was that they could be sold. Ordinary slaves were not valuable, but special slaves, genius slaves, were valuable. 200 million star coins? It's such a big number. Fortunately, I didn't think of this money at all. Let's just think of it as the interest earned by baby Al after so many years of wandering around. Feng Mo's words about Al baby made Al on the opposite side of the video look slightly unnatural. After the two of them chatted for a few formal words, Al quickly hung up the video, and then glared at Mello, who was chuckling behind her. Sisters. Feng Mo, on the other hand, was leaning on the captain's chair, with fire panels appearing in his eyes. Temporary Mission 1. Go to the white hole area to collect enough dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals to build a T4 starship. Completed. Reward: Level 3 Perfect Gene Potion. Do you want to receive the reward? Feng Mo clicks to receive the reward. After receiving the reward, you will get Level 3 Perfect Gene Potion. After getting the formula of the 3rd level Perfect Gene Potion, Feng Mo sent a copy to the Elf Queen, and left a message asking her to contact the big federal drug dealer to expedite the delivery of the medicine to the Storm Prime. Because the elves are close to nature, they have outstanding talents in identifying medicinal materials, and the Elf Queen is an expert among them, so Feng Mo can rest assured that this matter will be left to her. Moreover, She needs to be used when preparing the third level perfect gene potion. Just ask her to follow the medicine to the main elf planet. This person would think about it when he was still a virgin before, but he can restrain it. Once he loses his virginity, his desires will be endless. Very difficult to restrain. Especially after an adventure or a Star Wars battle. The physical pressure is fine, but if the mental pressure is not released, it will drive people crazy over time. Feng Mo was also like this, so he was anxious to go back because he missed Al. As for letting the Elf Queen go to Storm Prime, Feng Mo would not admit that he had other purposes. One day later, as the starship slowly docked at the Storm Starport, Feng Mo stepped out of the beam and saw Al bringing the Elf Queen and the Merlit sisters to greet him. Among them, the Elf Queen was followed by 2 female elves carrying silver boxes, which should contain medicinal materials. Feng Mo would not do anything excessive in front of everyone. Taking the speed car back to the base, Feng Mo originally wanted to go back to the bedroom, but unexpectedly he was called to the office by Al. It turned out that Luca and Lacey were back, and the fleet was at the starport. About half an hour later, the 2 sisters Luca and Lacey walked into the office together. As soon as they entered, the 2 sisters hugged Al. The 3 of them had not seen each other for more than half a year. "Sir, Commander, please give instructions as the Explorer fleet returns to Storm Prime for supplies." Feng Mo nodded after hearing this. They had made great achievements in the past half year and discovered many resource planets, which expanded the number of resource planets in the entire Storm Galaxy from 47 to 54 resource planets. "You have done a good job in the past half year, but we must continue to work hard. In the second half of the year, we will strive to explore the entire Storm Galaxy and find all valuable planets. We must continue to work hard." After returning, the Explorer fleet will also expand in size. There are bigger tasks waiting for you. Feng Mo first affirmed the efforts of the 2 sisters, then confirmed the contributions of the 2 sisters, and then he made big promises, such as expanding the fleet, bigger tasks, etc. He was used to saying these words, and he said them all the time. There was no way, he didn't want to make big promises, but his subordinates liked to hear them. After sending away the energetic Likalezi sisters, Feng Mo carried Al and walked out of the office and went straight back to their room. The 2 hadn't seen each other for 5 days, just like 5 springs and autumns, and a long drought was met with a sweet rain. Under Al's continuous provocations, Feng Mo rode on a BMW and bravely moved forward, again and again, and patiently experienced it over and over again. You can imagine it yourself. The next morning. After Feng Mo got up, he put on his combat uniform with Al's help and came to the laboratory. The Elf Queen came to the laboratory early to wait. After Feng Mo entered the laboratory, he first handed the formula of the 3rd level perfect gene potion to Kai Lan, and then said, "This is a 3rd level perfect gene potion, which is only suitable for my genes. After you mix it, you can study the formula to see if you can extract useful information from it and update the gene potion used by the soldiers." "Okay, Commander." Kai Lan responded and walked to the laboratory table to prepare the potion. A tube of gene potion can only be formed after the selection of medicinal materials, extraction of essence, filtration, compression and other processes. Compared with when Feng Mo first made the 2nd level perfect gene potion, these processes appeared extremely elegant and pleasing to the eye under Kai Lan's operation. The entire potion production took more than 2 hours. During this period, Kai Lan was highly focused and tried his best to ensure that there would be no mistakes in every step, until the light blue potion was slowly poured into the glass bottle, and the 3rd level perfect gene potion was successfully produced. Chapter 77 Breakthrough Level 3. After the potion was made, Feng Mo took Kai Lan to a quiet room. The pain of the last breakthrough was like torture. Thinking about it now, he was still afraid. However, Feng Mo still took the potion and poured it directly into his mouth. This was something he had to go through. He couldn't back down because of the pain. The light blue liquid flowed into his mouth. Feng Mo took a towel from Kai Lan and bit it in his mouth. At the same time, the pain was like a heavy hammer hitting the bones bit by bit. Feng Mo shivered in pain. Compared with the last time, the pain this time was more intense, and Feng Mo's face turned red. Google searched can the potion slowly spread. At this time, Feng Mo was like a cooked prawn, his blood was boiling, and a lot of mist appeared on his body. He couldn't help but fall to the ground, and kept twitching intermittently. At this time, Feng Mo had completely lost his human form. His muscles were tense, his limbs were twisted, his skin was covered with blue veins, his blood vessels were constantly bulging upwards, and his face was extremely hideous. Kai Lan did not expect this breakthrough to be so strong. Seeing Feng Mo's miserable state, she was also shocked. She quickly picked up the bath towel that had been prepared from the side and wrapped Feng Mo up, and then carried him to the bathroom. The cold water kept washing Feng Mo's body, causing bursts of steam. Kai Lan kept paying attention to Feng Mo's situation, and even didn't care about her clothes being wet and revealing her graceful body. Such pain lasted for nearly 10 minutes. Fortunately, Kai Lan took care of him throughout the whole process. When Feng Mo regained consciousness, he was soaked in the large pool in the bathroom. Kai Lan looked at Feng Mo and opened his eyes and said quickly, "Commander, you are awake, how do you feel?" At this time, Feng Mo's body had recovered strength and successfully broke through to the 3rd level Gene Warrior, and it was a perfect promotion. The physical strength was at least 3 times stronger than that of an ordinary 3rd level Gene Warrior. At the same time, the Xinhuo system panel prompted that the task had been completed, but Feng Mo didn't care about it at all. Kai Lan entered the quiet room and was afraid that it would be inconvenient to take care of Feng Mo, so she took off her combat uniform and only wore the gauze clothes inside. Just now, she was soaked in cold water, revealing her graceful body, especially the 2 dots, which brought endless temptation to Feng Mo. Feng Mo had just broken through the 3rd level Gene Warrior, which made him a little abnormal. The tyranny in his bones was looming. Now that he was so tempted, he couldn't help but pull Kai Lan into his arms. Kai Lan just exclaimed and stopped resisting. Beautiful women love heroes. When Feng Mo killed King Bisi alone, Kai Lan fell in love with this young commander. Now that she has the opportunity to devote herself, Kai Lan is very proactive. This is the advantage of the big sister. Although there is no practical operation, she has rich theoretical knowledge and likes to play, loves to play, and dares to play. The older generation once said that hips wider than shoulders are like gods. For such a woman, although her figure may be a little uncoordinated in appearance, whoever uses it knows it, and those who have used it say it's good. Kai Lan was undoubtedly like this. At this time, Feng Mo was like a victorious general. He went in and out of Chang'an 7 times, and a long spear scattered the enemy army. The whole person exuded endless fighting spirit. When the enemy shouted to surrender, he did not forget to send the last 200 shots. Time passed bit by bit. Fortunately, Feng Mo and the others were in the quiet room, surrounded by soundproof materials, and the business of the quiet room could not be heard from outside. Feng Mo entered the quiet room at around 2 p.m., and helped Kai Lan out of the quiet room at 8 p.m. At this time, Al was waiting for them at the door. After seeing Feng Mo and Kai Lan coming out, he hurried forward to support Kai Lan, and gave Feng Mo a big eye roll, and said with a little complaint, "You two, you never get up. What if you hurt Kai Lan's sister? And why didn't you call me when you broke through the 3rd level Gene Warrior? What if there is any danger?" Feng Mo felt a little ashamed of Al's complaints, and could only scratch his head guiltily. Fortunately, Al was not really angry, but just complained. Helping Kai Lan to the room where they lived daily, he carefully put her on the bed. Kai Lan fell asleep as soon as she touched the soft big bed. At this time, Al had the mind to walk out of the bedroom and go to the kitchen to bring out the prepared meals. "You must be tired. Let's eat first. This is a new dish. Try the cooking skills." As Al said, he put the chopsticks in Feng Mo's hand and looked at him with expectant eyes. Air's performance made Feng Mo even more ashamed. As if sensing Feng Mo's discomfort, Air took the initiative to say, "This is not the commander I know. Look at those big shots outside. Who doesn't have many wives and concubines and hundreds of dancers? You only have me and Sister Kailin now, which is good enough. But there is one thing. You have to promise me that the future development of the Storm Galaxy will definitely establish a kingdom. By then, You will be the king who is high above, and heir only wants to be your general and doesn't want to be kept in the harem, okay? What else can Feng Mo say? He can only sigh at the benefits of the interstellar era. No matter what the superior has, it is normal in the eyes of the inferior. I promise you, heir will always be Feng Mo's general. The two of them finished their dinner while talking about love. After dinner, Dao Wai cleaned up the restaurant and left the room. Feng Mo led heir to the guest room. They couldn't go to the master bedroom for fear of waking up Kai Lan, who was still sleeping. Tonight, the two of them were not as passionate as usual. Instead, they embraced each other calmly, their hearts connected to each other. Feng Mo seemed to have a sense of home in this interstellar age. Also, after years of wandering, Elle had someone she wanted to protect for the first time. The next morning, Feng Mo woke up early, with a light blue fire panel in his eyes. Task: make a level 3 perfect gene potion, and upgrade to a level 3 gene warrior after taking it. Completed. Reward: a T4 Hurricane-class interstellar battleship blueprint. Feng Mo clicked to receive the task reward. Task reward received. A T4 Hurricane-class interstellar battleship blueprint was obtained. Feng Mo was overjoyed to get the flagship. Now the design drawings and construction materials are all ready, and the only thing left is to build the Hurricane in seclusion. Feng Mo hurriedly checked the starship information of the Hurricane T4 Hurricane-class interstellar battleship. Armor strength: 440 units. Hull data: 2 km times 450 meters times 373 meters. Speed: 300 knots of star speed. Warp engine: level 4. Star shield energy: level 4, 100% weapons. T4 antimatter energy main gun times 1, T4 ion laser main gun times 1, T4 turbo laser secondary gun times 4, T4 electromagnetic rail secondary gun times 4, T4 close defense laser secondary gun times 100. This flagship is equipped with 2 T4 main guns, 2 types of T4 secondary guns, and close defense rapid-fire guns for interception and close combat. The weapon types are rich and powerful. Compared with the performance, it is a comprehensive upgrade of the Storm. But this is not what Feng Mo wants, because there's a starship level that is quasi T5. Feng Mo wants to improve the Hurricane to a quasi T5 starship, becoming a Hurricane modified. Of course, these specific transformation plans need to be completed together with Lisa. I hope her little brain can bring some inspiration to Feng Mo. Chapter 78 New Flagship. After checking the information of the Hurricane, Feng Mo felt something moving beside him, and a burning sensation spread through his lower abdomen. It turned out that Al had crawled into the quilt without knowing when. After quickly sending a message to Huakin, Feng Mo sighed. And it turned out that he was also living a life of a king who did not attend the morning court without knowing it, but he loved his current life to death. Riding a horse and whipping the whip, he traveled thousands of miles. During the morning exercise, Kai Lan also followed the sound and came over. Fortunately, Feng Mo fought the 2 phoenixes alone and killed them in one fell swoop. Feng Mo dressed neatly and walked out of the room near noon. As for Al and Kai Lan, they still needed to rest for a while. After this exchange, Kai Lan officially moved into the Storm main star from today to help Feng Mo deal with the main star's affairs. As for the Elf main star, there is a group of elders there, so she doesn't need to worry about it for the time being. Moreover, the elves have a population of less than 50 million, and their lives are quite comfortable, so there is nothing big. Feng Mo came to the office and dialed Chu Yunjian's video call, and then the two of them chatted secretly in the office for nearly an hour. Finally, after reaching a consensus, Feng Mo hung up the video and went to the technical department. When he pushed open the door of the director's office, he saw Elisa eating snacks again, stuffing her mouth full. After seeing Feng Mo come in, Elisa quickly swallowed the food in her mouth. Feng Mo was afraid that she would choke, and then she jumped off the chair diligently, ran to make tea for Feng Mo, and said flatteringly, "Commander, I'm a little hungry, and Elisa has been working hard recently. Can you give Elisa a raise?" After saying that, her big eyes fluttered like a small fan, full of expectations. Feng Mo couldn't help but laugh. This little girl, when he just came in, she was still eating, and in a blink of an eye, she poured him a cup of tea and asked for a raise. You can get a raise. Come with me. Let's go to the asteroid belt. I'll give you a raise when you come back. How about a 10% raise? Feng Mo was like a big bad wolf tempting Little Red Riding Hood at this time, but what he proposed was tempting enough for Alyssa. After silently calculating how much a 10% salary would be, Alyssa decisively said, "Let's go, Commander. Let's go now." "Alyssa has accepted this job, Commander. Don't cheat. You must get a 10% raise." After that, she pulled Feng Mo out of the office. The two took a flying car all the way to the starport. At this time, Huakin had been waiting for a long time at the Storm starport. On this trip to the asteroid belt, the fleet only had one Storm, 4 T3 blade mantises, 2 T3 reindeer and 4 T3 copper hammers going together. The rest of the fleet was left to air to guard the Storm Galaxy. After Feng Mo took Alyssa aboard the Storm, Huakin came to report, "Commander, the Snow Eagle Chen family has already transported the required raw materials to the Storm Star, and the T3 reindeer have been loaded and can be set off at any time." "The fleet is off," Feng Mo ordered. "The fleet is off. Enter the same frequency intelligent warp navigation mode. Please ask the first-level Gene warriors to enter the deep-sea mode." As Huakin's broadcast sounded in each starship, the fleet entered the warp navigation mode and headed towards the asteroid belt. At this time, Feng Mo and Alyssa were discussing how to transform the Hurricane into a quasi-T5 starship around the holographic virtual image. First of all, the hull construction must all use dark matter raw materials. The engine is built with dark energy crystals, and the weapon system can only expand the diameter and power of the gun barrel. But there is no way to install the weapons of the T5 starship, because the main weapon of the T5 starship is the Star Destroyer, and Feng Mo does not have this technology. The two technologies of Star Destroyer cannon and Battle Planet are the national treasure technologies of the entire Federation. Currently, they are only sealed in the database of the Federation. No family has ever seen these two technologies. They are the top secrets of the military. Once these two technologies are leaked, 3 T5 fleets will come to your doorstep on the same day and ask you how you want to die. If the weapon system cannot be started, then the Star Shield can be modified. This is the plan proposed by Alyssa. Generally, the energy Star Shields on starships are standardized. It is difficult to modify them, but it is not impossible to modify them. Because Feng Mo has gained a lot this time, he has a new idea. The hull data of the Hurricane must be expanded by at least 0.5 times. The specific expansion needs to be discussed later. Feng Mo and Alyssa have a lot of consultations on the transformation plan of the Hurricane. Sometimes the two will argue over a small matter of transformation, and sometimes they will hug each other because of the consensus. As time passed, the fleet arrived at the asteroid belt. Feng Mo and Alyssa took the interstellar car to the main control room of T3 Copper Hammer and entered the drawings of the Hurricane to be built into the main console. The construction plan of the Hurricane officially began. When Feng Mo and Alyssa were in seclusion in the asteroid belt, the entire Storm Galaxy entered a first-level combat readiness state, with an overall loose outside and tight inside state. The frequency of the Storm fleet patrolling the galaxy changed from once every half a month to once a week. Of course, Chu Yunjian was not idle at this time. Since Feng Mo was in seclusion, Chu Yunjian mobilized his powerful connections to completely block the Bei family, and represented Feng Mo in negotiations with the Bei family for half a year. In the past 6 months, the Bei family's Starship Trading Company had a large number of starships that could not be sold, so it could only sell them at a low price to its peers, and finally closed down. The Bei family's slave trade was hijacked by the Storm fleet, and with the Chu family's powerful intelligence network, the Bei family's business could not continue. In the end, the entire Snow Eagle Bei family only had territorial income, and produced a large amount of raw materials of various grades and sold them to raw material companies. This was still sold at a discount because the entire Snow Eagle Empire, under the leadership of the Chen family, openly suppressed the purchase price of the Bei family's raw materials. For example, someone else's T1 raw materials are worth 100,000 Snow Eagle coins per ton, but the major raw material dealers in the Bei family only offer 50,000 or even less. If you don't want to sell, then no one in the entire Snow Eagle Empire will buy your raw materials. Nowadays, the Bay family is desperate and has been resting on its laurels, but how much of its laurels do they still have to eat? You must know that the cost of raising a T4 fleet is astronomical. It cannot be afforded by the discounted territory income and capital alone. At this time, all the top executives of the Bay family were present in the Bay family conference room. Everyone had sad faces. The atmosphere in the entire conference room was gloomy. At this time, Bai Yanbing, who was sitting in the first place, said, "The eldest lady of the Chu family fully replaced Feng Mo in negotiating with the Bai family. However, this eldest lady obviously wanted to bring down the Bai family. She had no intention of talking to me at all and was perfunctory throughout the process. Although the Bai family still has some old backgrounds, but I can no longer withstand the twists and turns. Let's talk about what to do." At this time, Bai Yanbing was no longer as high-spirited and confident as before. In just 1 year, many wrinkles appeared on his face, and his hair changed from thick black to black and white now. His whole person was filled with an aura of decadence. His eldest son Bai Mushin looked at his much older father and felt very distressed, but he could do nothing about it. All of this was caused by his second brother, but the second brother was dead, so what's the point of pursuing him now? Well, the key now is how the Bai family can tide over the difficulties. Chapter 79, A Life and Death Struggle. In my opinion, the worst-case scenario is to follow Feng Mo and die. Taking advantage of the fact that the Bai family can still raise a fleet, they can directly send the T4 fleet to the Storm Galaxy and turn the entire Storm Galaxy into the Bai family's territory. How can he, Feng Mo, or how? The person who spoke was the manager of the Bai family branch, sitting third to the left of Bai Yanbing. Although this person looked young, he was actually just a 100-year-old young man with a long back and a strong waist. When everyone sighed, only Duan showed his sharpness while sitting on the chair, and it was obvious that this person was the main militant. To put it lightly, we have occupied the Storm Galaxy. Now the entire Storm Galaxy is protected by the Federation. Federal law prohibits attacking noble territories. It's okay if non-federal personnel are involved. Bai Yanbing, who was sitting in the main seat, opened his mouth to refute, but he was stunned as he spoke. He kept repeating that if he was a non-federal person, an idea flashed in his mind, and he suddenly remembered. Yes, the Storm Galaxy is protected by federal law, but it is not federal territory after all. If the Bai family sends a fleet to attack the Storm Galaxy, the Federation will send troops to attack it. But if it is a foreign race, the Federation will not take care of it and can only rely on the Storm Galaxy escort fleet. Handle it yourself. This is a way. But where can foreigners find it? If there is Demon Galaxy, then look for it from Demon Galaxy, which is an interstellar lord with 2 T4 fleets. After selecting the target, Bai Yanbing fell into deep thought again. If he wanted to invite the Demon Galaxy to send troops, the current Bai family might not be able to bear the price, but he still had to do it, otherwise the Bai family would be dying slowly. Nowadays, the Bai family is hampered everywhere in the Snow Eagle Empire. If the Bai family can develop beyond the federal sphere of influence, such as the Storm Galaxy, coupled with the large number of resource planets in the U5 galaxy, why should the Bai family not be able to thrive again? Bai Yanbing had a very good idea, but how to ask the Demon Lord of the Demon Galaxy to take action became a problem. Just when he was in trouble, Bai Mushin's words opened up Bai Yanbing's thinking. "Father, although there are 2 T4 fleets in the Devil Galaxy, most of them are starships purchased from the Federation or distant mechanical races. They produce very few starships themselves. The reason is that there are no design drawings. Moreover, Demon Galaxy is even more coveted for the design drawings of the Quasi T5 class starship, and wants to get it desperately. If my Bai family can provide these, can I ask Demon Galaxy to take action?" Bai Mushin's words suddenly awakened Bai Yanbing. Yes, the Bai family could still get 1 or 2 copies of the design drawings of the T4 starship based on their background, but the design drawings of the T5 starship were beyond the reach of the Bay family. I just don't know if the two T4 starship design drawings can impress the Demon Lord and let him take action for the Bay family. I still need to contact them first. Mu Chen, go to the Demon Galaxy for me and ask the Demon Lord to take action at the cost of 2 T4 interstellar design drawings. If he doesn't agree, you can raise the conditions to a quasi T5 starship. As for the design drawings, the father owns them. At this time, Bai Yanbing was also ruthless. The 2 T4 design drawings could still be obtained with the Bai family's connections. As for the prospective T5 starship, he could only use that method. Bai Yanbing left the conference room alone, found a quiet room, and then dialed a video call. After connecting, he said to the silver-haired old man opposite, "Mr. Kiao, the Bai family has been cornered." Looking at the past relationship, we ask the Kiao family to help the Bai family overcome this difficulty. The silver-haired old man opposite him shook his head and sighed softly. "Yanbing, it's not that I don't help you, I really can't help you. The eldest lady of the Chu family personally went to target the Bai family. My personal connections are far different from the eldest lady of the Chu family. As for the grievances between the Kiao family and the Yuezhi, I also understand that now that the Yuezhi has the upper hand, it is already difficult for the Kiao family. I will never risk offending the Huaiyao Chu family and help the Bai family at this point. Besides, the Chu family is here to help their son-in-law, and your Bai family has no relationship with the Kiao family in name. The Kiao family has no intention but no power." After hearing this, Bai Yanbing sneered in his heart, saying that the Bai Kiao family was still unwilling to help fight against the Chu family. After all, the Bai family had no use value now, and it was really not worth the gain to go out to compete with the Chu family in person. Whether it's a family or an individual, there are only a handful of people who can help you when you encounter difficulties, and everything is based on interests. Since the Kiao family can't help the Bai family, Mr. Kiao has to help the drill troops with one thing. I need the design drawing of a quasi T5 starship. I won't make it difficult for Mr. Kiao. It can be a destroyer or a frigate. Mr. Kiao, who was on the opposite side of the video, turned pale instantly after hearing this, and growled angrily, "Bai Yanbing, what do you want to do? Do you regard me as a prop to make wishes?" The design drawings of the prospective T5 starship are classified as confidential within the clan. Where can I get them? Then, it's not about the military exercise. I only give you 7 days. If you don't see the design drawings of the T5 starship after 7 days, a video in my hand will spread throughout the entire Federation in the Star Network space. Mr. Kiao, you don't want this video to be seen by others, right? It should be said that you have a good relationship with your eldest wife, but it's a pity that you chose the wrong place to have sex. Anyway, I'm going to see what I want in 7 days. Otherwise, it depends on God's will whether you two bitch couple can survive. After Bai Yanbing finished speaking, he completely ignored Mr. Kiao's major and hung up the video. The eldest wife of the Kiao family was Duke Kiao's official wife. If the video of Mr. Kiao and the eldest wife having an affair is spread, it will be a major event that will shock the entire Federation, and Duke Kiao may become the laughingstock of the entire Federation's nobles. At that time, the eldest wife may not be in trouble because of her family's protection, but Mr. Kiao will definitely die. And he will die to the point where he cannot die anymore. This is how the relationship between Bai Yanbing and Mr. Kiao came about. On the other side of the video, Mr. Kiao gradually calmed down after a period of incompetent rage. While inquiring about the recent movements of the Snow Eagle Bai family through the intelligence system, he communicated with the eldest wife and discussed with her. After learning that the Bai family fleet was escorting Bai Mushin to the Demon Galaxy, Old Kiao instantly understood what Bai Yanbing was thinking. He smiled grimly and muttered to himself, "Use benefits to lure the Demon Lord to attack the Storm Galaxy. The benefit is the quasi T5 starship design drawings in my hand. If you succeed in this matter, your Bai family will get a galaxy with nothing. And I will be eaten by you for this secret for the rest of my life. In this case, don't blame me for being cruel. It seems that the Snow Eagle Bay family has no need to exist. After all, only dead people can't talk. Just when Bay Mushin was heading to the Demon Galaxy, Feng Mo and Elisa looked at the data on the holographic projection with big dark circles under their eyes. Today is the trial of the hurricane. Whether the trial of the hurricane can be successful is related to the success of Feng Mo and Elisa in the past 6 months. During the past 6 months, the two worked day and night, eating and sleeping in the main control room, and discussed every day how to transform the hurricane better. After half a year, the new hurricane was finally built. The two were already impatient to know the performance of this modified starship. Chapter 80 Deal done. The first test is the interstellar voyage of the hurricane. The biggest problems of a starship's trial voyage will be exposed in the extreme speed mode. Feng Mo and Elisa stared at the data on the holographic projection. The hurricane's speed soared from 100 knots to 390 knots. Feng Mo was half relieved. As expected of an engine built using dark energy crystals, its performance is powerful. The Quasi-T5 starship can reach a star speed of 390 knots, which is already very fast, not to mention that Feng Mo also doubled the size of the hurricane's hull. He and Elisa had been quarreling for a whole week because of this matter, because Elisa had a bigger heart and wanted to directly build the hurricane into a star sea fortress and more than double its size. Feng Mo thought she was crazy. In the end, Elisa was suppressed ruthlessly by Feng Mo, and the matter was settled like this. The data of the modified hurricane is now as follows: Quasi-T5 Hurricane Class Star Battleship, Armor Strength, 1000 units. Hull data, 4 km x 1 km x 837 meters. Speed, 390 knots. Star Speed Warp Engine, Level 4. Star Shield Energy, Level 4. Change, 100%. Weapons, T4 Antimatter Energy Main Gun with 2 types of 6 main guns and 2 types of 16 secondary guns. This hurricane is simply a mobile fort on the battlefield. Of course, the power of the 2 types of main guns is different. The Antimatter Energy Main Gun is the most powerful, but the corresponding cooling time is longer, 5 minutes. Compared with the Antimatter Energy Main Cannon, the Ion Laser Main Cannon is less powerful, but has a short cool-down time of only 3 minutes. Both types of main cannon have their own pros and cons. It just depends on the commander's choice. In the distant Demon Galaxy, the fleet led by Bay Mushin was discovered by the patrolling Demon fleet as soon as it arrived in the Demon Galaxy. After a series of interrogations, it finally arrived at the Demon Star. This is a third-level life planet, the same level as the main star of Zion Yun. There are tens of billions of demons living on the planet. Some of them are beast-like in size, strong and huge, bloodthirsty and ferocious, and some are human-like in size, relatively petite and smart. When Bay Mushin arrived at the Demon King's court under the protection of a group of crew members, he was stopped by the demon soldiers from the royal court. My king has ordered that the eldest son of the Bay family, Snow Eagle, enter the royal court alone. You can just wait outside the royal court. After hearing this, a group of crew members behind Bay Mushin were about to refute, but were stopped by Bay Mushin. Then he walked into the royal court alone under the leadership of the demon soldiers. After entering the royal court, he walked into a main hall led by demon soldiers. As soon as he entered, Bay Mushin felt a huge pressure rushing towards his face. He had experienced this feeling from an elder of the Kiao family. But Bay Mushin was not afraid at all. At this time, his eyes were firm, and he was walking like a dragon and a tiger. He felt like the wind was blowing and the water was cold. This meant that he had no regard for life and death. Okay, you are indeed the eldest son of the Bay family, a genius in fleet command. Just because you entered the king's palace alone today, you are worthy of the name of genius. The demon lord sitting on the throne looked at him and said seriously. This voice was quite loud, with a sense of the sound of gold and iron. Bay Mushin raised his head slightly and saw a red-haired man wearing a black combat uniform sitting on the throne. He had a pair of horns and an orange flamed mark between his eyebrows. Bay Mushin knew what his mark represented. It was a sign that his spiritual power was about to materialize, and it was also a sign of a 5th-level genetic warrior. Bay Mushin of the Bay family paid a visit to the demon lord. This time he came to ask the Demon Lord to take action for the Bay family. For this, the Bay family is willing to pay for 2 T4 starship design drawings. Bay Mushin said straight to the point, and did not call him Demon King, but Demon Lord. The two representatives have different meanings. Oh, who is the target? The Demon Lord seemed to be interested and asked softly. Back to Lord, the target is the entire Storm Galaxy. I believe Lord is no stranger to this galaxy, Bay Mushin replied loudly, his words filled with endless hatred. Who? Count Feng Mo's Storm Galaxy? Do you know that this is an indispensable partner of the Demon Galaxy, and it is also a distinguished guest of our Demon Galaxy? The Demon Lord raised his voice, as if he was very surprised after hearing the Storm Galaxy. Bay Mushin just curled his lips at this. The Demon Lord had never even met Feng Mo, so he was an indispensable partner. He just opened his mouth at the beginning and made up whatever he wanted. He could only say helplessly, "Back to my lord." The Snow Eagle Bay family is also willing to present a design drawing of a quasi T5 Star Destroyer, which is a modified version of the T4 Lynx class Star Destroyer. I wonder if you can please take action on this design drawing? Bay Mushin was extremely confident in his words. He firmly believed that no one could withstand such a huge temptation. His belief was indeed correct. After hearing this, the Demon Lord stood up in surprise and said, "Master Bay, this is not a joke. You know what will happen to you if you can't get the design drawings of the T5 starship today? It's just death. But in case I take it out, I also ask the Lord to send troops to storm the galaxy to help the Bay family conquer the entire galaxy." Bay Mushin was full of fighting spirit, like a proud god of war at this moment. He completely took the initiative in the negotiation during this conversation, putting the Demon Lord in a dilemma. Haha, Master Bay is indeed worthy of his reputation. Devil Galaxy has agreed to this matter, but you must first hand over the quasi T5 design drawings to me. The Demon Lord sat down slowly, and spoke after thinking for a moment. Seeing that the Demon Lord's tone softened, Bay Mushin couldn't help but smile and said, "Lord, Mushin came here to serve as a hostage. As long as you send troops to the Storm Galaxy immediately, the quasi T5 starship design drawings will be presented immediately." It's impossible to send troops immediately. Now the two fleets of the Demon Galaxy are fighting outside. Even if they withdraw their troops, it will take some time. So, I will take a step back and use 2 T4 starship design drawings as a deposit. I promise you to send troops in a month. How about it? This Demon Lord is the kind of person who won't give up until he sees the rabbit. If he doesn't give him some sweetness today, he probably won't send troops. It's just 2 T4 starship design drawings. Just give it to him. At this time, Bay Mushin's mind was very active. If his father Bay Yanbing was here, he would find that the rhythm of this conversation was completely controlled by the Demon Lord, and the overall conversation was conducted according to his wishes. I'll accept it on behalf of the Bay family. Just 1 month. After hearing Bay Mushin's agreement, the Demon Lord's calm eyes flashed with a gleam of light, and then continued, "Okay, I like to communicate with straightforward people like you. Then please take a rest in the Demon Galaxy for this month. Don't worry, the Demon Galaxy has everything, especially all kinds of female slaves, even beast slaves. I guarantee you will be amazed. Come on, take Mr. Bay down to enjoy it. Don't forget Mr. Bay's subordinates. Take them with you and let the madam receive them personally." The Demon Lord's words made Bay Mushin very embarrassed. But Bay Mushin was in a good mood after finishing his work. In addition, he was too curious about the beast slaves mentioned by the Demon Lord, so he followed the demon soldiers out of the royal court. Chapter 81, Mr. Kiawan number 039:S plan. After Bay Mushin walked out of the hall, the Demon Lord was slightly excited. He had obtained 2 T4 class starship design drawings, which was a fortune. Not caring about being happy, he first sent the video of the conversation he just had with Bay Mushin to Mr. Kiao, and then waited for a while before dialing Mr. Kiao's video communication. After the video was connected, the Demon Lord took the lead and said, "Mr. Kiao, I have done what you asked me to do. Can the design drawings of the Quasi-T5 starship be fulfilled? Mr. Kiao on the other side of the video nodded with satisfaction and said, yes, the starship design drawings will be sent to you later. Everything will go according to plan. If Bay Mushin is stabilized, the Bay family of the Snow Eagle Empire will cease to exist in a month. Please rest assured, Mr. Kiao, once Mr. Bay, the Demon Star, comes in, he will not go out again. Facts have proved that the Demon Lord was right. At this time, Bay Mushin's eyes were opened under the leadership of the Madam. This place fully satisfied his little fetishes. At this time, Bay Mushin had completely fallen into it and could not get out. Facts have proved that it is very scary when a person completely releases all the pressure in his heart. The Madam looked at Bay Mushin, who was playing very freely in the court, and she thought that Bay Mushin must be a pervert in his heart, even though she had never seen any perverted tricks before. Feng Mo's trial mission had just been completed. Looking at the starship data of the Hurricane, he was overjoyed. When he redeemed all the T4 starships, he could really consider founding the country. With this Quasi-T5 level Hurricane, his safety is completely guaranteed, and the outside world will not say anything, because the Chu family has announced to the outside world that the Quasi-T5 starship in Feng Mo's hands is with the help of the Chu family. It was designed next time. Moreover, the Chu family also let the outside world know about one of Feng Mo's weaknesses, that is, he likes pretty and talented beauties. The higher the status, the better. There is no taboo against foreigners from his own clan, which can be said to describe Feng Mo as a playboy. In the past, he was sharp, but he still chose to listen to Chu Yunjian's opinion on this matter. It is still beneficial to restrain himself and defile himself appropriately. A person cannot be a perfect person in the eyes of outsiders. This is too terrible. It is so terrible that anyone wants to destroy you, because your existence makes some people unable to sleep at all. After the trial, the Hurricane returned to the Storm Starport, and 2 T4 Scorpion-class stealth bombers also returned. Since the Hurricane has been chosen to be exposed, there is no need to hide these 2 starships. Fortunately, they can be displayed generously. It can also eliminate the temptation of some people. On the way back, Feng Mo received an unexpected video call. The person calling the video turned out to be Mr. Kiao, the housekeeper of the Kiao family. Looking at the silver-haired old man on the other end of the video, Feng Mo took the lead and asked, I wonder why Mr. Kiao wants to contact this junior this time? The waves behind the Yangtze River push the waves ahead. Now, with the help of the Chu family, we even have a Quasi-T5 flagship. The Chu family's treatment of their son-in-law is famous throughout the Federation, but you are not bad at all. You can catch the eye of the Chu family, and also designed a T4 starship. Mr. Kiao first praised Feng Mo, and then changed his tone and continued, I wonder if Count Feng Mo is interested in destroying the Snow Eagle Bay family? Oh, I'd like to hear the details. Feng Mo suddenly became interested after hearing this. He had wanted to do this for a long time, but he had never had a chance. Haha, whether we can destroy the Bay family of Snow Eagle depends on the attitude of the Federation and the attitude of the Snow Eagle Empire. If these 2 points are met, the Bay family will be destroyed. Of these 2 points, the attitude of the Federation is the most important. But what if I have evidence that Bai Yanbing and Demon Galaxy traded Quasi-T5 starship design drawings? Although the Federation has no express regulations that do not allow trading of such semi-controlled treasures with foreign races, all noble families in the entire Federation do not allow it. So, this transaction between the Bai family and Demon Galaxy did not violate federal law, but it offended all the noble families in the Federation. The movement of the aristocratic family can affect certain decisions of the Federation, so the Bai family will be destroyed. At that time, it will depend on what charges will be given to the Bai family, and then the issue of who will take action still needs to be negotiated. After hearing this, Feng Mo thought for a moment and then said, I understand what Mr. Kiao means. The Bai family must be guilty of trading Quasi-T5 starship design drawings with Demon Galaxy, so it is up to each family to discuss the charges. However, the people who destroyed the Bai family are all talented, and I am willing to do it for the hands of the people. cut off the Bay family's head with a sharp blade. Haha, okay, you can indeed be called the genius of the Federation. You are decisive and ruthless enough. The Kiao family will recommend you. Plus, with the help of the Chu family and the Yuezhi and your foundation in the Yunshan Empire, this matter is not yours. It's none other than that. Mr. Kiao laughed and hung up the video. But Feng Mo was lost in thought. Is this old boy trying to show his favor to me? No, Mr. Kiao took the initiative to destroy the Bay family, and it was definitely not just because the Bay family traded the Quasi-T5 starship design drawings with Demon Galaxy. It should be that the Bay family escaped from Mr. Kiao's control due to some unknown reason, and then because of something that made Mr. Kiao impatient to kill, they took advantage of Feng Mo as a sword. Because the transaction of Quasi-T5 starship design drawings is a big or small matter. After all, it is not a real T5 starship. Even if Devil Galaxy has a Quasi-T5 fleet, it is just a bigger ant in the eyes of the Federation. Although it is not clear how the Bay family escaped from Mr. Kiao's control, in this matter alone, Feng Mo was willing to become Mr. Kiao's sword because he had interests to follow. Otherwise, who would be willing to kill people for no reason? In the following week, the entire Federation was unusually calm on the surface, but behind the scenes, there was a storm. First, a piece of news came out inexplicably that the Bay family of the Snow Eagle Empire had an affair with the Demon Galaxy, attempting to completely break away from the Federation and re-establish a country. When this news came out, a stone stirred up 1,000 waves. Bai Yanbing realized the importance of his loss of composure and immediately called Kiao Lao on video. After a series of threats, he was relieved after Kiao Lao's repeated assurances. But things were far from over. On July 9, 7494 in the Federation calendar, a temporary task was issued to Feng Mo's smart terminal, and the person who issued the task was Gujun Mo. The situation is not good this time. The affairs of the Bay family have involved the military, the federal parliament, and the noble families. The military wants to use the fact that the Bay family is collaborating with the enemy to make a fuss. The parliament is still maintaining the balance as usual, and the noble families want to self-examine and eliminate themselves. Among them, the military wants to use this opportunity to carry out a major purge in the entire Federation, and get rid of all the companies, noble families, and nobles who secretly trade with other interstellar races at once. And, the parliament is seeking stability. 3 days later, it will announce to the public that the Snow Eagle Bay family has been sentenced to treason against humanity, and the Bay family will be fully arrested and publicly tried. Finally, the noble families want to investigate and eliminate those forces that secretly trade with other interstellar races on their own, and on the other hand, make the entire Bay family disappear in advance before the parliament announces that the Bay family has betrayed humanity. These 3 points represent different opinions of the 3 forces. Uncle Gu wants to ask for your opinion this time. Dumbo, don't worry, no matter what you choose, Uncle Gu will still stand by you. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82 Blockade of the Galaxy. This is really not good news, because Feng Mo, a member of the Snow Eagle Bay family, has been inexplicably involved in the power struggle within the Federation. No matter how he chooses to get no favors, then in this case he must choose the side with the greatest interests for himself. First of all, the military department cannot be selected, because their actions are too big. Feng Mo must not be the vanguard to start the Great Purge, otherwise he will provoke many forces for no reason, and the gain outweighs the loss. Secondly, the parliament cannot choose, because they arrested the Bay family and held a public trial. This is contrary to Feng Mo's mission. This kind of thing of borrowing people is too easy to cause accidents. If the Bay family runs away and hides on a remote planet, Feng Mo's mission is useless. Then he can only choose the noble family. He can personally destroy the Bay family. First, he can complete the task, and second, he can retire with success and earn some favors from the powerful. Besides, Feng Mo is a noble himself, so he naturally stands here. Side. You can't let Feng Mo eat this bowl of rice and then smash the pot. He can't do such a thing. Uncle Gu, tomorrow we will integrate the fleet to destroy the Bei family. Please also ask Uncle Gu to contact the participating noble families and seal off the Windmill Galaxy for 1 day. 1 day is enough. Okay, now that Zhao Mo has made his choice, my uncle will support you unconditionally. I will contact them now. They will withstand the pressure from the military and the parliament after this incident, and they will give you some compensation. Okay, Uncle Gu, we don't have much time, so I'll hurry up and assemble the fleet and get ready to go. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he hung up the video, and then said to Al on the side, let the storm fleet assemble and prepare to set off in an hour. Let the Elf fleet guard the Storm Galaxy and the Explorer fleet patrol the Storm Galaxy. Yes, Commander. In front of business, Al seemed to turn into the iron-blooded commander again. After responding, he turned around and left. Feng Mo, on the other hand, took advantage of this time. Under Hua Qin's service, she put on her combat uniform and took a speed car to the Storm Starport. After arriving at the Storm Starport, Feng Mo came to the main control room of the Hurricane again through the optical tweezers. This trip to the Windmill Galaxy to destroy the Snow Eagle Bei family was considered the Hurricane's debut, and Feng Mo was looking forward to it. At this time, Hua Qin, the Adjutant and Secretary General, came to report, Sir Commander. The Storm Fleet is about to head to the Windmill Galaxy. It will pass through the U3 Galaxy, take the Stargate, and finally arrive at the Windmill Galaxy. The whole journey will take 7 hours and 43 minutes. The route has been designed. Please give instructions. Set off. It's the Commander. The Storm Fleet is about to enter the Intelligent Co-Frequency Warp Speed Navigation mode. Please ask the first-level genetic warriors to enter the Deep Sea mode. The fleet is about to set off. Feng Mo used this time to enter the Star Network space, still in the luxurious box. At this time, Chu Yunjian was waiting anxiously. Feng Mo walked into the box, held her in his arms, and let her sit on his lap. Looking at Chu Yunjian's dignified face, he said softly, just wait and be anxious. You must already know that the current situation in the Federation is not good in general. Uncle Gu just came over and gave me 3 options. On the surface, there are 3 options, but in fact, only one can be chosen. Then, what did you choose? Aristocratic families and nobles, right? Chu Yunjian asked anxiously. Of course, this is my foundation. If a person can easily betray his foundation, this person will not develop much, and he will die miserably. Chu Yunjian breathed a sigh of relief after hearing this, and then said, what is the task of choosing aristocratic families and nobles? Do you want to destroy the Bei family in advance? Do you need me to lead a Chu family fleet to destroy the Bei family? After hearing this, Feng Mo reached out and pinched Chu Yunjian's nose, then shook it and said, you have too little confidence in your future man. The Storm Fleet has set off at this time, and the construction of the Quasi-T5 flagship Hurricane has been completed. The destruction of the Bei family this time should be regarded as the trial mission of the Hurricane. If I care, I will be in trouble. Of course, my young lady's man is the strongest man in the entire Federation and even the entire universe, otherwise, how could he conquer me? Chu Yunjian lay in Feng Mo's arms and said charmingly, oh, that's right. When did you experience my power? Wasn't it the last time you came to my room in the middle of the night at White Cave Base to steal food? Okay, you woman, you stole food while I was sleeping? Faced with Feng Mo's teasing, Chu Yunjian's face was instantly flushed. He lightly knocked on Feng Mo's chest with his small fist, and then said, when I came, the elders in the family asked me to give you a message. Just go ahead and do it, and I will get you a sufficient compensation afterwards. Feng Mo nodded after hearing this. With this sentence, he could act as a vanguard and receive a large amount of compensation afterwards. At that time, based on his previous thoughts, he could let the military department eliminate the grudge against him. As for the parliament, there is no need to pay attention to them for the time being. They cannot affect the storm galaxy yet. They are more spiritual symbols than right symbols, but they still have to be there on the surface. Feng Mo cannot take them to heart, but he still has to recognize their orthodoxy. When the storm fleet passed through intergalactic space and arrived at the U3 galaxy, the Stargate here had been completely taken over by the military. When the fleet arrived at the Stargate, it encountered obstruction and investigation, and Feng Mo allowed it to pass after showing his noble metal. Passing through the Stargate, the storm fleet successfully arrived at the Windmill Galaxy, and once again arrived at the Windmill Galaxy. The storm fleet at this time was very different from before. With the Hurricane as its flagship, the fleet would no longer be afraid of the ordinary T4 fleet. When the fleet arrived at the Bay family's main star, the Bay family assembled thousands of starships in front of the starport, including the Bay family's most elite small T4 fleet, a total of 73 T4 starships and a T3-class interstellar missile ship. Among them, the flagship T4 Vulture-class interstellar battleship and the remaining T4 starships are mainly T4 Lynx-class interstellar destroyers and T4 Black Rhino-class interstellar frigates. The remaining more than 900 starships accounted for 30% of the T3 class, and the rest were T2-class starships. These starships are the limit of what the entire Snow Eagle Bay family can gather. Now they are all assembled in front of the Bay family's main star. When they came, they had been mobilized to defend the Bay family's ancestral star to the death. At this time, in the bridge of the T4 Vulture-class interstellar battleship, Bai Yanbing was talking to Qiao Lao. "Old Qiao, you mean that as long as we defeat Feng Mo's storm fleet, the Qiao family will be able to survive after the Qiao family mediates, right?" Bai Yanbing has been fooled by old Qiao at this time. The Demon Galaxy promised to send troops in a month, but it has not been a month yet, and the situation of the Bai family has taken a sharp turn for the worst. First, there was news that the Bai family tried to rebel and set up a kingdom, and then there was news that the Bai family traded starship blueprints with the Demon Galaxy. This series of blows directly stunned Bai Yanbing. Now old Qiao has proposed a feasible plan, that is, a fleet duel, in which the Bai family and the storm fleet will duel, and whoever wins will survive. He also gave Bai Yanbing a copy of the storm fleet's information, but there was no information on the T4 Scorpion and the Quasi-T5 Hurricane. There was only information on an ordinary T4 Hurricane and the storm fleet, which were provided by Feng Mo, with the purpose of hiding the two starships and catching Bai Yanbing off guard. Chapter 83. The attack begins. At this time, Bai Yanbing, who was deceived and lame, could only threaten Mr. Qiao again and then reluctantly hung up the video. Now is the time of life and death for the Bai family. We must first overcome the current difficulties. The storm fleet has only one T4 starship, and the entire fleet has less than 100 T3 starships. How can you fight with me? But what he didn't know yet was that at this time, there were two T5 fleets stationed on the edge of the entire Windmill Galaxy, and the galaxy's Stargate had already been fully taken over by the military. At this time, only food is allowed in the Windmill Galaxy, because it will soon turn into a large meat grinder. Bai Yanbing sat on the captain's chair, filled with hatred for the approaching storm fleet. If Feng Mo could have endured when his second son was overwhelming the storm galaxy, what happened today would not have happened. If Feng Mo could read Bai Yanbing's voice at this time, he would give him one word of comment: Dian. But Bai Yanbing wouldn't think so. He was a veteran marquis of the Snow Eagle Empire. When he first got to know Feng Mo, he was just a viscount, 2 levels behind. What's more, the Bai family also had a T4 fleet. Feng Mo couldn't bear it. Let's choose to fight back. Is this a choice that normal people can make? Now that this situation has arisen, don't blame Bai Yanbing. Thousands of starships are facing off against more than 100 starships. The fate of the Bai family lies with them. Bai Yanbing is a veteran marquis and fleet commander. He will never make common sense mistakes. Now that he is on the battlefield, he will not underestimate the enemy. What's more, the storm fleet still has 2 interstellar missile ships that should not be underestimated. Order: all starships disperse and form a sharp arrow formation. The T4 starships are in front to become the sharp point of the arrow. so as to form a breakthrough for the Chinese army. The T-3 starship is in the center to become the sharp point of the arrow to stabilize the formation. The T-2 starship is at the tail to become the feather of the arrow. When the storm fleet arrived at the outskirts of the Bei family's main star, they saw this star formation and had to sigh. With the background of a veteran fleet commander like Bei Yanbing, at least Bei Mushin couldn't display this kind of star formation. With the T-4 starship as the sharp point to make a breakthrough for the Chinese military, if Feng Mo returns to form an aircraft carrier group with the aircraft carrier as the flagship, he will definitely be defeated by the local government and return with a huge defeat. But now that Feng Mo has the Hurricane, there is no need to fight against the opposite star formation. He can break the formation with his ship, and with the performance of the Hurricane, he can break Bei Yanbing's front arrow formation. Huanghan, order the fleet to stop sailing in place. The T-4 tail Scorpion enters the invisible state. Let me sneak behind the local T-4 fleet and be ready to carry out a covering attack on the enemy's flagship. The Hurricane is ready to face the enemy head-on. The two T-3 Boxers load the missiles and prepare them for launch. Feng Mo made a series of deployments. He wanted to use two T-4 tail Scorpions to carry out beheading missions, and at the same time use the characteristics of the Hurricane to disrupt the local formation, thereby giving the two T-3 Boxers the opportunity to pour starship missiles. Seeing Feng Mo park the fleet in a very ambiguous position, which happens to be the edge of radar scanning, at this position, even the power of the main gun fired by the T-4 starship is limited, and it is extremely easy to dodge, making it an ineffective attack. Bei Yanbing didn't understand what Feng Mo was thinking for a while. It wasn't until he saw a Hurricane, which was twice the size of a conventional interstellar battleship, that Bei Yanbing suddenly reacted. The corners of his mouth twitched slightly, and then he exhaled a filthy breath and whispered softly. Road, the quasi-T-5 star battleship, the Chu family, the Chu family. In order for Feng Mo to win this star war, you really spared no effort to help him. I don't know if this quasi-T-5 starship will fall. Will your Chu family feel it? I feel bad. Until now, Bei Yanbing has not felt that the Hurricane was built by Feng Mo himself, but that it was the assistance given to him by the Chu family. The main and secondary guns of all T-3 starships are ready. The self-aiming system is activated. The target enemy is the T-5 starship, and a fire network is formed to strike. The main and secondary guns of the T-4 starship are ready, waiting for orders. Bei Yanbing gave an order, and the main and secondary guns of nearly 300 T-3 starships in the Bei fleet were charged at the same time, shining with dazzling light, lighting up the dark starry sky. Emission. As soon as Bei Yanbing finished speaking, thousands of beams of light roared out at the same time. After calculation by the self-aiming system, the Hurricane's route and all evasion methods were all calculated. Feng Mo had already expected the method used by Bei Yanbing. The reason why he dared to break the formation with a single ship was because of the Hurricane's maximum speed of 390 knots. Covered by a network of laser firepower, the Hurricane soared all the way, and the entire starship approached the Bei family fleet in a Z shape. Report. All T-3 starship laser cannons have failed. There is an error in intelligent calculation. The enemy starship is traveling at a speed of 390 knots. Listening to the adjutant's report from the rear, and looking at the approaching quasi-T-5 starship at the main console, Bei Yanbing couldn't hide his shock. Because the star speed is the normal star speed of a T-5 starship, but when it appears on a quasi-T-5 starship, it is full of incredible. Even though both of them have a 5 character, whether or not there is a 5 character in front is a huge difference in performance. But the reality is so magical that he cannot help but not believe it. However, Bei Yanbing is a veteran fleet commander after all, so he immediately reacted and ordered, the intelligent self-aiming system restarts, raises the target starship to T5 level, and recalculates the target starship's route. Yes, the intelligent self-aiming system has been activated, the target has been locked, and recalculation has been completed. All routes of the enemy starship have been simulated. Please give instructions. Report, from the rear adjutant. All T-4 starship main and secondary guns, fire. There was another salvo of artillery fire. This time the Hurricane faced a salvo of fire from the enemy's T-4 starship. At first, the Hurricane was able to avoid a large amount of artillery fire by relying on its extreme speed. However, after the enemy fleet's re-intelligent calculations laid out the firepower network, they were still inevitably hit. But they were all intercepted by the modified Star Shield. Alert: the Star Shield energy remaining is 83%, 80%, 75%, 70%. Feng Mo sat firmly on the Diaotai, while Huikin behind him was constantly reporting on the remaining energy of the Star Shield. After modification, the Hurricane Star Shield already had some of the characteristics of the T-5 Star Shield. That is high defense and high recovery. Feng Mo has tested it. The Star Shield of the Hurricane is enough to withstand 2 rounds of bombing by 2 T-4 tail Scorpions without being broken. With the attack of the Bay family fleet, it can at least withstand a close-range attack. 100-shot laser cannon. In addition, the T-4 Star Shield can also perform high-speed recovery. When the Star Shield is not under attack, it can recover at least 10% of its energy in an hour on average. Order: turn on the self-aiming system, charge the antimatter energy main gun, and prepare the turbo laser secondary gun. Feng Mo gave an order, and the 3 main guns and 8 secondary guns of the Hurricane shone with dazzling light at the same time. Target: enemy T-4 starship, launch. As soon as he finished speaking, 11 beams of light were emitted at the same time, falling directly on the 4 enemy T-4 Lynx-class star destroyers. 4 flashes of fire suddenly lit up in the enemy camp, and 4 T-4 star destroyers fell directly and were blown to pieces. Feng Mo could clearly see through the radar holographic image that 11 beams of light were fired at the 4 T-4 Lynxes respectively. 3 of the beams of the main guns directly shattered the Star Shield of the T-4 Lynx, and then the beams of the 3 secondary guns directly shattered the Star Shield of the T-4 Lynx, landed on the energy cabins of 3 T-4 Lynx ships. The remaining 5 secondary gun beams fell on the Star Shield of the 4th T-4 Lynx, directly shattering it without much obstruction, and then fell on the energy module of the ship's hull, triggering a secondary explosion that spread throughout the starship. Chapter 84 Hurricane Dragon. Feng Mo's talent once again showed its power. As long as he led the fleet, the artillery fire would either fall on the energy cabin of the enemy ship, or on the weapons depot, or directly on the bridge. Instruct the ion laser main gun and the electromagnetic orbital secondary gun to start accumulating energy, and the self-aiming system calculates the movement of the enemy starship. Emission. Another order was given, and 11 beams of light were fired again. At this time, Bai Yanbing looked at the image generated by the radar and felt a little unbelievable. The enemy starship actually had 6 main guns and 16 secondary guns. The main focus was on quantity. The boss is full. In one salvo, 8 of our own T-4 starships were directly destroyed. Is the performance of this quasi-T-5 starship really so strong? Bai Yanbing looked at the radar battlefield image. At this time, the Hurricane was charging towards the Bai fleet as if it was entering an uninhabited land. Bai Yanbing had no doubt that the target of this quasi-T-5 starship was his flagship. This is to carry out a decapitation operation. At this time, he was already a little frightened by the performance of the Hurricane, but Bai Yanbing is not lacking in bloodiness. Since your target is me, then change it. 1 round of artillery fire from the Hurricane can destroy 8 T-4 starships of the Bai family, but it can withstand several rounds of attacks by the Bai family fleet. At worst, I will give you 30 T-4 starships to repay your life. It's worth it. Order: T-4, T-3, prepare all the main and secondary guns of the starship. Let me blow this starship to pieces and launch. The second round of laser cannons fired out, and countless laser cannons bombarded the Star Shield of the Hurricane. Feng Mo, who was on the bridge of the Hurricane, suddenly felt a sharp increase in pressure. At this time, the energy of the Star Shield of the Hurricane was only 35%. When waiting for the next salvo of the Bai fleet, the Hurricane Star Shield might not be able to hold it anymore, but Feng Mo was already prepared. Hurricanes, main and secondary guns are charging and ready. By the way, tell Sister Marlowe that the time has come and prepare for action. Emission. The Hurricane's second round of attack was no longer divided into two waves. Instead, it fired a salvo of 6 main guns and 16 secondary guns, targeting the enemy's escort fleet guarding the flagship. At this time, on the bridge of 2 T-4 Tail Scorpion-class stealth bombers, the Mellow Sisters took advantage of the explosion of the enemy's escort satellite guarding the flagship, and the 2 T-4 Tail Scorpions successfully lurked into the enemy's flagship's best strike position. Don't save ammunition, target the enemy's flagship and guard fleet, cover the entire area with artillery fire, and launch. The 2 sisters gave an order, and nearly 100 concussion missiles and proton torpedoes covered the target fleet. However, this was not over yet. The 2 T-4 Tail Scorpions once again launched nearly 100 pulse torpedoes and 20 antimatter annihilation missiles. Alert! Our flagship has been locked by the enemy. The star shield has been turned on to maximum power and is trying to intercept the enemy starship attack. 3 consecutive alarms made Bai Yanbing break into a cold sweat. He quickly checked the radar image and found that 2 enemy starships appeared on the left side of the flagship. In an experienced moment, he understood that these were 2 stealth bombers. There were no such ships in the Bai family fleet. Equipped. Correspondingly, Bai Yanbing never thought that Feng Mo could own this type of ship, but now he realized it was too late. Boom, boom, boom. At this time, Bai Yanbing's ears were filled with the deafening sound of the ship's armor being shattered. Countless crew members were thrown away by the huge impact, and red lights flashed everywhere in the entire starship. The hull armor was completely shattered, exposing various hatches on the hull. Some crew members could even clearly see the starry sky and fiery explosions outside. But this may be the last scene they see in their lives, because their bodies were swallowed up by the fire in the explosion. Fortunately, they eventually turned into corpses. Unfortunately, there may be no bones left. The Bai family's flagship and Bai Yanbing were all swallowed up by the huge fire, which also contained the decisive momentum of the entire Bai family. If the flagship of a fleet is destroyed by the enemy, it will have a huge impact on the momentum of the fleet, and there may even be riots and escapes on a certain scale. As expected, after 2 T-4 Tail Scorpions destroyed the Bai family's flagship, there was a huge commotion in the entire Bai family fleet. A large number of T-3 and T-2 starships fled. At this time, the Mellow Sisters saw the Bai family fleet in chaos. Confused, he ordered with a hint of excitement in his eyes, "Since there is a turmoil, let's add fire to your fire and launch all kinetic energy beam missiles to target the enemy's fleet." T-3 Star Missile Ship. As mentioned before, Star missile ships have very strong firepower coverage, but they are also very afraid of being attacked. Most of the entire starship is used to store missiles. Once such a starship explodes, it will be a disaster for one's own fleet. After the riot broke out in the entire Bai fleet, the unprotected T-3 Star missile ship was directly hit by the T-4 Tail Scorpion's kinetic energy beam missile as expected, and the star shield could not provide effective protection at all. In an instant, a huge explosion sounded, completely illuminating the starry sky and swallowing up a large number of surrounding starships. This shocking scene made the Merlit sisters clench their legs and turn red. 2 huge blows in succession completely destroyed the morale of the Bai fleet and dropped it to freezing point. At this time, there were really not many starships that the Bai fleet could resist. They were either escaping or fighting for command. No captain could survive, stand up and take charge of the overall situation at critical moments. Good opportunity. The Storm Fleet has officially set sail. The target enemy fleet will attack indiscriminately. The 2 T-3 Boxers will pour at least 2,000 interstellar missiles on me. Yes. Following Feng Mo's order, all the captains responded one after another, and then the entire fleet accelerated towards the Bai family's fleet. The Hurricane, relying on the enemy's failure to organize an effective counterattack for the time being, continued to fire around the Bai family's fleet. As one T-4 starship after another fell, The only thing left in the minds of the captains of the Bay family fleet was escape. The following battle was relatively simple. After the Bay family fleet failed to organize an effective counterattack, the whole battle became one-sided. Since the entire Windmill Galaxy was blocked, all the Bay family starships that were caught up either surrendered or were destroyed. At this time, Feng Mo turned his attention to the Bay family starport that he destroyed a year ago. After a year, this starport has been completely renewed. It is obvious that after the reconstruction, Feng Mo feels very congenial, and it seems that this thing is destined to be with me. But as if hearing Feng Mo's voice, a video call was directly dialed to the bridge of the Hurricane. After Feng Mo connected the video, it was Uncle Gu Junzhao. Mo, the Snow Eagle Empire Parliament just contacted me regarding the ownership of the Bay family's main planet. The Parliament advocates that the Snow Eagle Empire should distribute it by itself. You only need to slaughter the entire Bay family. You can take the spoils you deserve, but don't touch the population on the main planet. No, Mo, this is the Snow Eagle Empire after all, and the Bay family is also a family of the Empire. I can't disagree with this. After this is completed, the Snow Eagle Empire will also give you certain compensation. Okay, Uncle Gu, I understand. At this time, Feng Mo's heart only wanted to say MMP. The thing he just thought about was gone. Let's see what compensation the Snow Eagle can give. If the compensation is not good, Chapter 85, Destroy the Bay Family. I'll lead the captains to clean up the battlefield. Be quick and don't let go of all the loot. Feng Tanya led the mecha team to dismantle the planetary defense system of the Bay family's main star and put it back in the Elf main star. Another world captured Bay, all members of the direct family line and collateral lines. Huakin led the soldiers to the Bay family's main star warehouse, and asked T3C Lion to send drones to follow them. If they encountered resistors on the way, they would shoot them directly. After, Feng Mo issued a series of instructions. He brought several soldiers to the Beijia starport. Looking at the newly rebuilt starport, Feng Mo was so greedy. Perhaps it was because he was too greedy for this level 3 life planet. A battle lasted less than 2 hours, but it took more than 6 hours to clean up the battlefield. After the war, Feng Mo stood alone in the starport and looked at the entire Bay family's main star. Hundreds of drones, hundreds of interstellar mechs, and dozens of interstellar frigates were cruising over the Bay family's main planet. When they encountered rebels, they took advantage of the opportunity to kill those who rioted and incited speeches on the spot. The entire Bay family's main star has a population of nearly 30 billion, which makes Feng Mo very greedy. You must know that the entire Storm Galaxy has a population of only 1.3 billion, which is less than 1/20th of the Bay family's main star. I am afraid of comparison in everything. After I have settled the Bay family's affairs and completed the fire mission, I will have fun with the Demon Galaxy. I just want to use the Demon Galaxy to enrich my territory. While Feng Mo was looking down at the planet in a daze, Huakin came to Feng Mo in a flying car and reported, "Sir Commander, the interstellar battlefield has been cleaned up. Our army has won a complete victory. A total of 820 enemy starships were destroyed, including 70 T4 starships, 270 T3 starships, and the rest were all T2 starships. 174 enemy starships were captured, including 3 T4 starships, 2 T4 Black Rhino-class star frigates, 1 T4 White Shark-class star destroyer, and 27 T3 class starships were captured. The rest are all T2 starships. In addition, there are 20 T3 Roma-class interstellar carriers parked at Beijia starport. My subordinates had decided to temporarily requisition them without authorization, so that they can transport all the loot back to the Storm Galaxy." After hearing this, Feng Mo cast an approving look at Huakin. Yes, his little secretary was flexible and did not stick to formalities. Feng Mo waved his hand and said, "Yes, these 20 carrier ships are of course the spoils of the Storm Fleet. There is no problem in returning to the Storm Galaxy together. I believe Uncle Gu will not blame me for this." The Uncle Gu mentioned by Feng Mo was in the main control room of the Yun Shan. There was a small blue screen on the main control panel in front of him. Opposite him was an old man wearing aristocratic clothes. with a snow-white condor embroidered on his left chest. Gujun's treatment of this old man was different from the Duke of the Snow Eagle Empire whom he had quarreled with last time. Even he had to be careful when facing this old man, because this was once his old boss in the federal military and also a member of the Snow Eagle Empire, the leader of the nobility and the title of Grand Duke. At this time, the two of them were looking at the holographic image of the Bay family's main star, which was playing a video of Tuakin forcibly recruiting 20 T3 Roma-class interstellar carriers. Seeing this, Gujun's old face turned red, and the old man chuckled in his eyes. Zia coughed lightly, and then said a little embarrassedly, "Mr. Ma, you also know that Feng Mo has captured so much loot this time, and there must be a carrier to bring it back, right? In this way, these 20 Roma-class interstellar carriers will be borrowed by Feng Mo from you. I will let him return it to you." Jun assured him with a slap on his chest. Faced with Jun's rogue behavior, the old man said with a playful look, "You, Jun, have been known as a stingy person since you were a soldier, and the juniors you trained are also stingy ones. Why don't you return it to me later? Who believes that? Just take them all. Treat these 20 T3 interstellar carriers as let the Snow Eagle Empire compensate this junior." When Gujun heard this, he immediately became anxious. He cursed the old man in his heart and wanted to erase the compensation in just a few words. It would never work. "Hey, if Mr. Ma does this, isn't it too unreasonable? This kid will have to complain to me in the future. If you still insist on doing this, I will ask Feng Mo to evacuate the entire Bay family star." I believe he should still be satisfied with the compensation. The first two paragraphs of Gujun's words were soft on the surface, but the next few paragraphs were very explicit and hit the old leader's vital points. The main star of the Bay family was taken down by Feng Mo. Because the Snow Eagle Empire promised to compensate it later, Gujun agreed to let Feng Mo return it to the Snow Eagle Empire. If the compensation is to be cancelled just because of 20 starships, then since the planet cannot be occupied, then the entire planet will be evacuated to see who suffers. It just so happens that the Storm Galaxy still lacks a population. Haha, you kid, you are still the same as before, like an interstellar pirate. You know how to study the things in other people's pockets every day. Let's just treat the starship as a meeting gift from the Empire to the junior. Although, the old man said it was light on the surface, even if the construction cost of the 20 interstellar carriers was 5 to 6 million star coins, he couldn't help but feel a little pain in his heart. Let me thank the old leader for Feng Mo. Don't worry, Feng Mo is the most measured and will never take more things that don't belong to him. I hope so. Facing Gujun's guarantee, the old man just said lightly. In fact, he had already scolded Gujun and Feng Mo many times in his heart. The Bay family was destroyed, and the old man had long regarded this level 3 life planet as his personal belongings. Now that Feng Mo had eaten and taken some of it from his personal belongings, how could he not feel distressed? At this time, Feng Mo was sitting on a luxurious recliner, looking down slightly at the kneeling Bay family members in front of him. Feng Tanyi, who was standing beside him, walked forward 2 steps and bowed to report, "Commander, except for the members of the Bay family who committed suicide, the rest are all here, totaling more than 177,800 people." After hearing this, Feng Mo sighed slightly. Not bad, it's still prosperous, so let's kill them all. After saying that, he stood up from the recliner and turned to walk towards the hurricane. At this time, Feng Mo suddenly felt a little bored. Maybe because he was a little moved by the scene of the genocide. However, Feng Mo had a strong psychological quality and quickly adjusted himself. At the same time, as Feng Tanyi ordered to shoot, a large number of Bay family members fell down in groups like wheat being cut. With the last gunshot, the Xinhuo panel prompted that the task had been completed. Task: Gentleman's Revenge from morning to night, destroy the Bay family of the Snow Eagle Empire. Completed. Reward: 2,000 points. T4 Sword and Shield Class Interstellar Frigate Blueprint. Feng Mo clicked to receive the reward. Rewards received successfully, 2,000 points. A T4 Blade and Shield Class Interstellar Frigate Blueprint. T4 Blade and Shield Class Interstellar Frigate, Armor Strength, 600 units hull data, 118 meters speed, 300 knots warp engine, level 4 star shield energy, level 4, 100% weapons, close defense rapid-fire laser cannon times 120, pulse torpedoes. Feng Mo checked the data of this starship and found that it was completely an armored starship. The star shield of the T-4 class frigate was improved to be not much different from the star shield of the Hurricane. If the frigate is further divided into types, it will be divided into interception type, armored type, assault type, etc. This starship belongs to the armored type. The thickest armor and the most poisonous attack are the characteristics of this starship. Other aspects are mediocre. Chapter 86 Mission Refresh. At this time, the points in Xinhuo Mall have reached 4020, which can be redeemed for a new T4 starship. However, Feng Mo is not in a hurry to redeem it for the time being. He will wait until the mission is refreshed tomorrow to redeem the starship according to the mission type. After the battlefield was cleaned up, Feng Mo did not stay too long and took Alan Huakin back to the Hurricane, and the Storm Fleet officially returned. There were 100 starships when we came, and more than 300 starships when we returned, including supplies for 20 T3 carrier ships. It can be said that it was a fruitful harvest. Feng Mo took advantage of the time to return to the Star Network space. This time he did not go to the small base, but came to the main star of the Snow Eagle Empire, Ma Mansion. At this time, Gujun was waiting for Feng Mo's arrival at the door. After seeing Feng Mo, he stepped forward and said, "The old man inside is a bit difficult to deal with. Remember not to let go. As long as I am here, no one can take away what is yours." After hearing this, Feng Mo nodded to express his understanding, and then walked into Ma Mansion with Gujun. After entering the mansion, he was surrounded by antique buildings, and the pavilions were full of poetry and painting. Feng Mo took a few more curious glances, and was led by Gujun through the corridor to a small room. Gujun signaled Feng Mo to wait where he was before he stepped forward and knocked on the door 3 times. "Come in. This is the first time you've been so polite." An old voice came from the hut. A flash of embarrassment flashed across Gujun's face. Then he coughed lightly and pushed open the door with Feng Mo in tow. "Now, Mo, let me introduce to you. This is Mr. Ma, my former leader." My father also respected Mr. Ma very much when he was still here. Long before Feng Mo came, Gujun had sent him a piece of information, which was the information about the silver-haired old man in front of him. Mr. Ma was currently a member of the Star Sea Human Federation, the speaker of the Snow Eagle Empire, and a duke. When the two walked into the hut, they saw a silver-haired old man sitting in front of the tea table. After seeing the two come in, Mr. Ma took the lead and said, "Sit down. You guys have contributed a lot this time." "Old man, I have to express my gratitude." "Count Feng Mo, if you want anything, just say it." Mr. Ma first poured tea for the two of them, and then looked at Feng Mo with a bit of curiosity with his cloudy eyes. After hearing this, Feng Mo chuckled and said, "Don't take credit for your merits. You represent the Federation and the Snow Eagle Empire. If I were to make conditions, then I say I want a T5 starship. Can the Federation also give it to me?" After hearing this, Mr. Ma had a surprised expression on his face. It seemed that he didn't expect this kid to be so shameless. He really dared to ask for a T5 starship. He coughed lightly to cover up his embarrassment and said, "T5 starships are impossible, so don't ask for it. I can make the decision and give you a batch of dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals. How about half a T3 carrier ship?" Feng Mo pretended to think for a moment and then said, "You are Uncle Gu's leader and his guide. As a junior, we shouldn't force you, but what we have given is indeed too little. If you insist on giving only this, you will only be offended. The Storm Fleet will turn around, return to the Bay family's main star and evacuate the entire planet. I believe you won't doubt that the Storm Fleet does not have this ability, right?" Feng Mo's tone was decisive, leaving no room for words. Such force made Mr. Ma a little unhappy, and he frowned slightly and said, "Do you think Snow Eagle Empire is a place where you can come and leave whenever you want?" "Ha ha, I'm not afraid of embarrassing you. Are the 3 major T5 fleets of the Yunshan Empire enough? If not, the Yushi of the Apocalypse Empire and the Chu family of the Huaiyao Empire are enough. I advise you to think about it seriously." Feng Mo's words were extremely rude. At this time, Mr. Ma was in a difficult situation. He had always been the only one who used his power to suppress others. Unexpectedly, he was suppressed by a young boy today. But what this boy said is true. There are conflicts between the empires. But there are also federal parliament and multiple forces involved. Anyone who breaks this superficial peace will be a sinner of the Federation. Just like Snow Eagle today, the Bei family has become the history of the Federation. Now, Mo, Mr. Ma, listen to me. Now Mo takes a step back. Mr. Ma, you are taking a step forward. Everyone is happy. There are 2 T3 carriers. One is filled with dark matter raw materials, and the other is filled with dark energy crystals. How about it? Acting requires a complete performance. Feng Mo pretended to be reluctant at this time, and then he could only nod unwillingly after Gujun comforted him softly. They are all foxes for thousands of years. Mr. Ma also knew what was going on and nodded reluctantly. After the matter was discussed, the 3 of them returned to their original state. Gujun and Feng Mo took turns flattering Mr. Ma. One moment they said that he was the Dinghai divine needle of the Snow Eagle Empire, and the other they said that he was the prime tree of the Federation. In short, they gave Ma Lao the photo was taken with a smile. Time passed slowly. Feng Mo exited the Star Network space, and the Storm Fleet returned in triumph. More than 300 starships were anchored at the Storm Star port. Feng Mo took Al and Joaquin to return to the base office first. An hour later, all the officials above the captain level who were still on the main star of the storm gathered. After winning the battle and getting a lot of trophies, what he had to do now was to sit in rows and share the fruits. Feng Mo had already planned for these trophies on the way back, so he was the first to speak. All 3 T4 starships belong to the Explorer fleet. From now on, this fleet will be responsible for galaxy exploration and galaxy escort missions. The remaining T3 and T2 starships will all be handed over to the Elf fleet. From now on, the Elf fleet will be responsible for patrolling and guarding the galaxy. The Storm fleet will specialize in the elite route from now on. As for the material situation, Baia Star and Elf Main Star will each take 10%, and the rest will be handed over to Joaquin. If your departments need it, please report to Joaquin to receive it. That's it. If anyone has any opinions, they can report to Joaquin in private. Okay, let's adjourn the meeting. Alyssa will stay for a while. Feng Mo distributed all the spoils neatly and then drove everyone out, leaving only Alyssa. The room was full of people just now, and Alyssa hid in the corner. Now that everyone has left, Feng Mo saw her. The bulging cheeks seemed to have become synonymous with Alyssa. Every time Feng Mo saw her, she was either reading or studying drawings. After seeing Feng Mo's eyes, Alyssa swallowed the snacks in her mouth, then turned over her left and right pockets and found that the snacks were all gone. She said with a grievance on her face, "Commander, if there is nothing else, Alyssa will go back and the snacks are gone." After hearing this, Feng Mo's mouth twitched slightly. It seemed that Alyssa was afraid that Feng Mo would not believe it. She even turned out her left and right pockets to let Feng Mo see more clearly. This time, not only Feng Mo's mouth twitched, but even Al and Joaquin looked speechless. "Alyssa, I will send you the design drawings of a T4 interstellar frigate later. Please study whether it needs to be modified." "Okay, Commander, but can Alyssa make a request?" Feng Mo nodded and said, "Reasonable requests are fine, but other requests are not. At present, the interstellar dock and T3 copper hammer are not enough to mass-produce T4 starships." "Commander, have you considered expanding the interstellar dock and designing and building T4 interstellar industrial ships?" Chapter 87 News about the Succubus. The problem raised by Alyssa is indeed what the Storm Fleet currently needs. The T3 copper hammer is no longer enough to build most T4 starships. In other words, it is time to upgrade. It just so happened that Feng Mo also had points in his hand, but he didn't know what type of ship he wanted to redeem for. Since Alyssa raised the question, he would give priority to redeeming the T4 interstellar industrial ship. "Alyssa, based on the hull data of the T4 Shield-class interstellar frigate, It is completely sufficient to use the T3 copper hammer to build it. As for the raw materials required for construction, Huacan will contact the Chen family to supply them in large quantities. I want you to build 48 ships in the first batch. Give priority to arming the Storm Fleet, and as for the eliminated batch of T2 Black Bears, give priority to the Elf Fleet. Nowadays, Feng Mo has 3 fleets under his command. The main battle fleet is the Storm Fleet, which is a mixed fleet of T4 and T3 starships. The number of starships has always been maintained at 70 or 80. Although the fleet of explorer ships, which are mainly used for exploration, is small, with only more than 20 starships, it has a rich variety of ships, second only to the Storm Fleet. Finally, there is the main defense, the patrolling Elf Fleet, which has a large number of T3 and T2 starships mixed together. With the number of starships reaching more than 300. The number of starships in a general small fleet ranges from 20 to 100, the number of starships in a medium fleet ranges from 300 to 1,000, and the number of starships in a large fleet can reach up to tens of thousands. It is said that the Star Fleet of the Brilliance Empire is a large fleet, with 8,000 T5 and T4 starships combined. The length of the fleet spans several planets each time it travels, and it can be said to truly cover the sky. Feng Mo still doesn't dare to think about this. His short-term goal is to build Feng Mo's fleet into a small fleet with the strongest combination of T5 and T4. After finishing the matter and sending Alyssa and Huacan away, Feng Mo picked up Al and called Kai Lan, who had been waiting for a long time. The 3 of them walked into the room to express their feelings to each other. Since it was the first time for a blatant threesome, Al and Kailan were still a little shy, but under the guidance of the cheeky Feng Mo, they gradually got into the mood. The 3 of them fought from the afternoon until midnight, and the battle was extremely fierce. At noon the next day, Feng Mo slowly opened his eyes, and saw 2 pairs of big loving eyes. It turned out that the 2 women had woken up early, and they didn't get up for fear of disturbing him. Feng Mo was also happy to hug the 2 sweet-smelling bodies. Her delicate body enjoys the rare silence. The mission should be refreshed. To see what difficult missions the Xinhuo system would produce this time, Feng Mo's eyes showed a light blue panel, and he was obviously stunned for a moment when he looked at the mission module. Mission: destroy the Demon Galaxy, kill the Demon Lord with your own hands. Reward: 3,000 points. T4 level combat armor upgrade drawings. Temporary mission: save the interstellar succubi who are in dire straits in the Demon Galaxy. Reward: 1,000 points. T4 Kangaroo class star destroyer. Al, when you were defeated and fled, where were all your clan members? Al, who was next to her, was a little surprised after hearing this. She didn't expect Feng Mo to ask about this. Feng Mo's tone clearly meant that she was considering saving her people, and she said with some emotion in her heart, I have placed all my people in a small star on the edge of the Demon Galaxy. Depending on the size of a Demon Galaxy, it may take a long time to explore that location. After hearing this, Feng Mo shook his head and said, I don't know. I always feel that based on the movements of the Demon Lord, it seems that the entire Demon Galaxy is under his control. Maybe the people have been enslaved, but it doesn't matter. Get up first and put the silk. Leah called to the office. After hearing this, Al also felt something was wrong. He called Celia to the office through the smart terminal, and then quickly waited on Feng Mo to put on his combat uniform, and the 3 of them came to the office. Contact the Demon Lord now and tell him that the Storm Galaxy Lord wants to discuss the slave trade with him. Yes, Commander. After hearing this, Celia immediately executed the order and dialed the video communication of the Torin Hualayer. After the video was connected, Feng Mo said straight to the point, Torin Hualayer, right? Let you Demon Lords talk to me directly. I am Feng Mo, the Lord of the Storm Galaxy. Dear Storm Lord, I am glad to serve you. Hualayer will contact the Lord immediately. Please wait. The Torin Hualayer on the opposite side of the video heard Feng Mo coming in person, and immediately bowed and said, the video did not hang up, but turned black. After another 15 minutes, the video lit up, and Hualayer appeared in a glorious palace. As Hualayer walked into the palace, the video gradually became clearer. Sitting on a huge throne was a red-haired man wearing a black combat uniform. He had a pair of horns and an orange flame mark between his eyebrows. Feng Mo raised his eyebrows slightly. This look seemed familiar, but he couldn't remember where he had seen it before. "Dear Storm Lord, please introduce yourself," Demon Lord Lawrence said. "Nice to meet you." "Dear Demon Lord, Storm Galaxy Feng Mo, I am also very happy to meet you. I am contacting you temporarily this time to ask about the slave trade. It is true that the slaves of the succubus tribe in the Federation are scarce recently, and Storm Galaxy wants to buy a large number of succubi, slave. Do you see?" After Feng Mo finished speaking, he showed a smile that every man would understand, and then looked at Lawrence with a little expectancy. Feng Mo played a pervert so vividly that no one could see the flaws. Maybe he just exposed a little bit of his true nature. Lawrence also smiled. In fact, he was full of contempt for Feng Mo. This kind of man influenced by women is not worthy of being his opponent. The Storm Galaxy is nothing more than that. Under the leadership of such a lord, he can only rely on the Star-Sea Human Federation for peace. It's a coincidence. "Oh, my friend, you must know that the interstellar succubi are scarce goods in the entire universe. I wonder what price the respected Lord Storm can pay?" Feng Mo was overjoyed. As long as they had something to talk about, he was afraid that Lawrence was hiding it, so he continued to act. "As long as your friend can provide you with a large number of succubus tribesmen, star coins, starships, blueprints, and even dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals, I can get them." Lawrence's eyes brightened up after hearing this, especially after hearing about dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals. He seemed a little excited. Don't blame him for his lack of concentration. It is true that the Demon Galaxy does not produce anything in this area. He has also sent an exploration fleet to look for traces of white holes, but unfortunately, there are no traces of white holes in the Demon Galaxy or even in several surrounding galaxies, not even black holes. Without dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals, even if he had a quasi-T5 starship design drawing that was traded with Mr. Kiao, it would be difficult for a clever woman to make a meal without rice, so Lawrence was salivating for these two substances. "Haha, my friend, as long as you can get a large amount of dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals, you can have as much interstellar succubus as you want. Even if you can get 5 T3 carriers full of materials, I can trade you a succubus race." Feng Mo felt cold after hearing this. Sure enough, Al's tribe had been found, but the drama still had to continue. Chapter 88 Transaction 5 Impossible. "My friend, you must know that these two materials are equally precious. They are one of the necessary raw materials for building a T5 starship, at most, half a T3 carrier ship." Feng Mo stood up excitedly after hearing this. A touch of physical pain appeared on his face, but he was still suppressed by lust. All this was seen by Lawrence, so he continued to bewitch him. "There are more than 80,000 interstellar succubi in this interstellar succubus tribe, 80% of which are women. This value is not low. It requires at least 3 T3 carriers filled with materials. And my friend, may I ask you, do you need other races?" Feng Mo became interested as soon as he heard this. Since Lawrence said this, he must have better goods on hand, all in order to trade two substances with him. This shows the treasure at the bottom of the box. "Oh, I wonder which race it is? Do the interstellar elves and the Tata tribe need it?" "My friend, they and the interstellar succubi tribe are also known as the three beauties of the universe." Lawrence continued to confuse. Feng Mo also continued to act. After hearing Lawrence's introduction, the pain on his face became even worse, but he gritted his teeth and walked back and forth in front of the video, pretending to be deep in thought. 3 minutes later, Feng Mo suddenly stopped and shouted at the video shouts, "Laron, 2 T3 carriers filled with 2 kinds of substances. Trade all the interstellar succubi, interstellar elves entities with you. This is the final price. I won't take any more." When he shouted this sentence, Feng Mo's eyes were red, like a gambler at the gambling table. The scene has now entered the climax stage. Lawrence looked at Feng Mo and understood that this was the final price, so he nodded helplessly and said, "Okay, Who made you my most distinguished friend? When is the deal going to happen? Feng Mo immediately replied, how about 7 days later? In the intergalactic space from the Demon Galaxy to the U5 Galaxy, we will deliver the raw materials at the same time. Okay, just 7 days. Lawrence will be waiting for the arrival of the Storm Lord in intergalactic space. The reason why Feng Mo decided to trade in 7 days was because he wanted to prepare for a big show. Lord Commander, do you really want to exchange dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals for slaves? Are there some? Feng Mo didn't need to finish the sentence to know that it was Celia who said it, because she was the only one with a relatively simple mind among everyone here. After hearing this, Feng Mo interrupted, Celia, when looking at problems, you can't just look at the surface. You must learn to think, figure out other people's intentions, and enhance your core thinking skills. Feng Mo said something that Celia couldn't understand, and then turned around and left the office with Al and Kailan. From yesterday afternoon to this afternoon, the three of them hadn't eaten yet. Huakin was smart enough not to follow, but patted Celia on the shoulder and said, what the commander means is that he wants slaves, and the succubi also want them. But they don't want to give money or raw materials yet. All the conditions agreed are just to deceive the opponent. Do you understand? Hearing Huakin's explanation, Celia nodded in enlightenment. At this time, the main planet of demons, the Northern Wasteland, had many dungeons built by Lawrence. Among them, the 3 largest dungeons housed the most powerful people in the universe. 3 races welcomed. These 3 races are interstellar succubi, interstellar elves, and interstellar Tata tribe. The succubus tribe's seductive figure and charming face have always been sought after by all major forces. The elves' delicate and holy faces and better figures ranked second, and the third Tatar tribe is a very interesting race. The Tata tribe is very rare in the universe. The women of this race are not as good as the succubi, nor as charming as the succubi, nor do they have the holy faces of the elves. Although they are also very beautiful, their faces are not their core competitiveness. What really makes the Tatas popular in the entire universe is their special SZQG. Only those who have used it will know the specific feeling. It is like a small suction cup, absorbing and wrapping. In short, everyone who has used it will linger on it. The Northern Wasteland dungeons were particularly lively today. A large number of soldiers entered the dungeons, bringing with them all kinds of exquisite food and clean water. In the 3 largest dungeons, the leader of the Tauran Hualaor shouted loudly while inspecting, there will be unlimited food for the next 7 days. Please eat more for me and try to gain weight in these few days. Everyone must be cleaned up. I will check them one by one afterward. After speaking, Hualaor let out a lustful smile, but he could only live with his eyes. Now these 3 dungeons and a total of 170,000 people from 3 races have been traded away by the noble lord. At this time, the people of the 3 races have just woken up. Some of them must be sold, but most of these people's faces are full of numbness, and some even have a look of expectation. They have been locked up here for almost a year. They don't have enough to eat or wear warm clothes every day. If they are not careful, they will be beaten or scolded by the guards, and their food will be withheld. At the same time, they have to face all kinds of dirty words from the guards. And of course they are really violated. The guards, still didn't dare. However, several times before, sisters were selected from among them to go out for banquets. It was said that the selected ones were taken away by a distinguished guest. As a reward, the 3 dungeons also provided delicious food indefinitely for 1 day. This time it was 7 days. I wonder how many sisters will be picked off. At this time, Al was looking forward to his arrival in 7 days, while Feng Mo was in video communication with Chu Yun. Now to the outside world, he was the son-in-law of the Chu family, and such connections and resources were not in vain. Feng Mo first expressed his thoughts. Chu Yunjian thought for a moment and said, you mean there are 2 ways, either swap the dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals, or send a fleet to rob them halfway? Feng Mo nodded. Anyway, he wanted people but didn't want to pay, so he could only use other methods. Swapping and robbing were undoubtedly the most convenient and safest. Then, have you ever thought about it? Once you are discovered, The demon galaxy will never let you go. A formal war is inevitable. Even if the demon lord holds back, it will be very difficult for your fleet to get out of the storm galaxy. Feng Mo really thought about this matter. After it was done, there was a high probability that the demon lord would suffer a loss. He did not dare to lead the fleet to attack the storm galaxy because it was a territory recognized by the Star Sea Human Federation. Any invasion by foreign fleets would be regarded as a war with the Federation. This is the benefit of having a towering tree behind you. As the saying goes, a weak country has no diplomacy. Even if the demon lord loses, he has no place to complain. Who dares to sue me? They are all my people. How can you fight me? But there are many hidden dangers. Feng Mo will be watched all the time, and he may face assassination. Before his strength reaches a certain level, he will not be able to leave the territory of the Federation. But all this is still profitable compared to the 1 billion slaves and succubi, elves, and tatter people. After all, freeloading is the most fragrant and delicious. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Ambush. Chu Yunjian understood what Feng Mo meant, but felt that his plan was not a good one, so he said, "Since you are destined to offend the opponent to death, why not be more ruthless? The Chu family will directly send a quasi-T5 mixed fleet to ambush in the intergalactic space. If you send a signal, the fleet will destroy all the escort fleets in the Demon Galaxy." Taiwan, NovelNetwork.com. If the Demon Lord is in the fleet, that's good. Kill them together, then the Storm Fleet will join the Chu family fleet to directly attack the Demon Galaxy. The Chu family will gain 60% of the profit from this battle. But the Demon Galaxy will be captured. How about giving it to you as your base camp? After hearing this, Feng Mo only sighed in his heart. This little girl is much more ruthless than him. Feng Mo only thought about how to make the Demon Lord suffer a loss, while Chu Yunjian was aiming to capture the entire galaxy. If the Demon Lord does not participate in the transaction, all the starships destroyed and captured by the enemy fleet will belong to you, and all the slaves will belong to me. If the Demon Lord participates in the transaction and breaks into the Demon Galaxy, 60% of the loot will be given to the Chu family, and the rest will be given to the Chu family. The next 40% of the system belongs to the Storm Fleet. Deal. Then make preparations early, choose a trading location suitable for an ambush, and then give me the coordinates. I'll see you in 7 days. Chu Yunjian hung up the video after saying this. She is a very rational person, and her feelings are feelings. She is down to business. It's business. Feng Mo opened the point small of the Xinhuo system and clicked on the list of T4 starship design drawings to view. His goal this time was a T4 industrial ship, preferably one with high performance and cost effectiveness that could build a T5 starship. The T4 industrial ship. Feng Mo knew that his demands were too high, but he believed that the Xinhuo system must have design drawings for this kind of industrial ship, but it was just waiting for him to discover it. Now Feng Mo has more than 4,000 points, which is enough to exchange for a T4 starship design drawing. After completing the temporary mission, he can exchange for another design drawing. By then, the ship types needed for the fleet will be basically formed. Feng Mo carefully checked the performance data of various T4 interstellar industrial ships in the points mall and found that most T4 interstellar industrial ships were not cost-effective. They were either too expensive to build, or their performance did not improve much compared to the T3 Copper Hammer. However, after searching for a long time, I still found a relatively good T4 interstellar industrial ship. I spent 2,500 points to redeem it. The data is as follows: T4 Furnace Class Interstellar Industrial Ship, Armor Strength, 445 units. Hull Data, 5 km times 1.4 km times 1.15 km Speed, 140 knots. Star Speed Warp Engine, Level 4. Star Shield Energy, Level 4, 100% Weapon, T4 close-in laser-proof rapid-fire secondary gun times 180. This T4 class interstellar industrial ship can build all T5 starships except T5 class interstellar aircraft carriers, T5 class interstellar carriers, and T5 class interstellar supply ships, and it is the most cost-effective in terms of comprehensive performance. This is also the best industrial ship that Feng Mo has access to now. Half an hour after sending the drawings to Alyssa, Feng Mo received a series of bombardments from this little dwarf. A series of messages directly flooded the screen. Feng Mo didn't want to read them at all. Choose to temporarily block it. If we have this time, we might as well discuss the grand plan for human reproduction with Alan Kylan. Human-like communication like theirs is actually very difficult to give birth to new life, so Feng Mo doesn't need to take measures. If there is any, it will happen. Come down. However, according to federal statistics, the probability of pregnancy between normal humans is about 15% to 20%, but the probability of pregnancy between humans, elves and succubi is about 1.5, which is very low. So Feng Mo is also working hard. The average male in the Federation has a child at the age of 19, but Feng Mo is already 24 years old and has no children yet. If something happens to him, who will inherit the huge storm galaxy? 7 days passed quickly in the blink of an eye. In the early morning of this day, Feng Mo woke up early, put on his combat uniform, and headed to the Storm Star port with the 2 women waiting on him. Since he was going for a trade, Feng Mo didn't bring many starships, only 1 Hurricane and 2 T4S Tail Scorpion and 20 empty T3 carriers. Hurricane, bridge. Feng Mo sat on the captain's chair. The smart terminal in his hand sent out 2 messages at the same time, and then said to the adjutant Huakin, "Let's go." Head to the target location. At this time, in the base office of Storm Prime, many captains were waiting again. Suddenly, a beeping sound sounded. Al glanced at the smart terminal, stood up suddenly and shouted, "The Storm Fleet gathers and sets off on time in 10 minutes. Yes, everyone responded, and then quickly ran out of the office and took a flying car to Starport number 1. After boarding the starship, they ordered to set sail. The whole process only took 6 minutes. When Al boarded the former flagship Storm, exactly 10 minutes had passed. The entire fleet started and entered the intelligent co-frequency warp speed navigation mode. At the same time, in the chaotic star zone on the edge of the distant U5 galaxy, there is a small fleet hidden among many asteroids. The entire fleet only has 108 starships, 36 quasi-T5 starships, and 72 T4 starships. The flagship is a quasi-T5 class interstellar aircraft carrier. A fleet with this configuration is already capable of long-distance attacks on medium and large galaxies. It can sweep some small galaxies, and it can be confident even against the 2 medium-sized T4 fleets in the Devil Galaxy. If they really don't care about casualties, this small fleet of only 108 starships is enough to defeat the 2 medium-sized T4 fleets of the Demon Galaxy, but they can't do this because the Chu family also has hostile forces. And the core base of the Chu family is not here. Even if the Demon Galaxy is taken down, Feng Mo can't defend it with his current strength. Don't think the Hurricane is very strong, but any big family that sends a quasi-T5 mixed medium-sized fleet can't resist it. And the Chu family sent this fleet to help, which can't be concealed from the top families of the same size, but the reason given by the Chu family is very formal. Sending a fleet to help the son-in-law's concubine rescue the family, what? Who has an objection to saving a family? These top family bosses will naturally not tell the Demon Lord the news. Otherwise it would be openly colluding with foreign races. This hat is not easy to wear. Whoever wears it will die, and it is still a stable death version. So in the Federation, many secrets are not secrets, but tacitly understood between many people, which is very complicated. This is also the reason why Feng Mo wants to jump out of the Federation and establish a country alone, because the constraints are too great. In the universe, a small fleet slowly sailed out of the Stargate and headed for the edge of the U5 galaxy. The fleet was led by the Hurricane, followed by 2 T4 Scorpions, and followed by 20 empty T3 Red Worm class interstellar carriers. The fleet came to the edge of the U5 galaxy, and further ahead was the intergalactic space. Feng Mo slowly sent 2 messages, and after receiving an accurate reply, he ordered, "The fleet enters the intergalactic space at full speed and heads for the designated coordinates." Chapter 90 Robbery and Murder. In the intergalactic space between the U-5 galaxy and the Devil galaxy, there is a rocky belt. It is darker than other places and is very suitable for an ambush. Moreover, Feng Mo only brought 3 combat starships in order to dispel the enemy's vigilance. No one would think that bringing only 3 Te-4 starships during the transaction was a party trying to rob them. The fleet arrived at the planned location, and Feng Mo dialed Lawrence's video communication. After connecting, it was still a familiar palace and throne. Feng Mo secretly screamed in his heart, "It's a pity. It seems that this demon lord is not that courageous. You don't even have to do this kind of transaction in person. My friend, it's a pity that you didn't come in person, otherwise, maybe you and I could have a drink and have a good time." The 2 substances you want have arrived at the coordinates under the escort of the fleet. "Where is the fleet for the transaction?" Feng Mo asked, and the demon lord on the other side of the video smiled sincerely and said, "My friend, I will have a drink with you next time." "You are very honest. The escort fleet only has 3 starships. Please forgive me for being cautious. You know, operating the demon galaxy is not easy. You need to be cautious. The fleet will be traded soon. It's coming. Please be patient." Next, the 2 of them exchanged useless polite words. Most of them were Lawrence trying to seduce Feng Mo into making the next deal. Feng Mo was just perfunctory. 5 minutes later, a fleet of 52 ships appeared on the radar image. A small fleet of starships. Among them were 32 combat starships and 20 T-3 class interstellar carriers. After seeing this fleet, Feng Mo showed a sincere smile. With the goal in hand, it was time to close the net. At this time, the video communication between the 2 fleets was connected, and the big face of the Tauren Horaire appeared in the video. He first bowed to Lawrence and Feng Mo respectively, and then said respectfully, "Good afternoon, 2 lords. The fleet has arrived at the designated coordinates and can lower the tractor beam for transactions at any time. Large, optical tweezers technology can transport many slaves from the demon fleet to the T-3 Red Creeper starship through beams, but this requires the tractor beams of the 2 starships to be connected. Storm Galaxy can trade at any time. My friend, there are only 3 escort starships in Storm Galaxy this time." You can see the sincerity, so it is not too much to ask for the first transfer of slaves through optical tweezers technology, right? Feng Mo was the first to ask. The Tauren Horaire on the side was about to say something when he was interrupted by Lawrence. "It's not too much, Horaire. Let's transfer the slaves first. Guests like the Storm Lord deserve better services." "Yes, dear Demon Lord," Horaire responded, and then directed the tractor beams of 40 T-3 carriers to connect. The beams of optical tweezers technology connected the hatches of the 2 starships at the same time, and the transmission officially began. A large number of Demon Galaxy soldiers escorted all kinds of slaves into the beam. In the same 20 T-3 Red Worms, there were also a large number of soldiers from the Feng Mo Galaxy to receive the slaves and take them to the cabin to rest. The transaction went very smoothly. After all the slaves were traded, Feng Mo also received news from T3 Chishanghuacan. A very pleasant transaction, but dear Demon Lord, it is a pity that this transaction is coming to an end. The dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals you requested will be taken away by interstellar pirates. I am very sorry and look forward to meeting you next time. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he hung up the video and sent 2 messages at the same time. At the same time, after receiving Feng Mo's message, the 2 fleets moved at full speed at the same time, and the intelligent self-aiming system locked on the 32 battle stars of the Demon Fleet at the same time. The ship's main and secondary guns are charged at the same time. The video was hung up by Feng Mo. Lawrence and the Tauren Horaire on the opposite side were both stunned. Lawrence was the first to react and shouted loudly, "Horrell, order the battle starship to open all fire. Target the flagship of the Storm Lord. Hurry!" Before Horaire could react, A mechanical alarm sounded in the main control room! Alarm. A large number of unidentified starships' intelligent self-aiming systems have locked onto our fleet and are being calculated. After the calculation is completed, there are 36 enemy starships that are of the T5 level, 72 of the T4 level, and 55 of the T3 level. The mechanical alarm sounded 3 times in a row. Lawrence also heard another part of the video. His first reaction was that it was over. He had lost his wife and lost his troops. Not only had he lost 3 races of the universe's hard currency, but he had also lost 1 billion slaves. And it also brings 32 T4 class battle starships. At this time, Lawrence was furious, and the mental power around him was close to becoming substantial. All the items placed in front of him were lifted up by the invisible force, and then flung away. Looking at the mess on the ground, he could only let out a helpless cry. Roar, Storm Lord. This matter will not be settled like this. The Demon Galaxy and the Storm Galaxy have a feud. You'd better never step outside the federal territory, otherwise your life will be worse than death. It's just that Feng Mo has hung up the video and can't hear Lawrence's roar. Otherwise he would have admired what the furious Demon Lord looked like. The screen switched back to the transaction location. A large number of starships appeared on both sides of the coordinate location. They were the Chu family fleet led by Chu Yunjian and the Storm fleet led by Ao. The 2 women were opening the video behind Feng Mo's back and talking to each other about private topics. It is easy for women to become good friends when they are together, especially when they all have a man in common. Although Chu Yunjian has never slept with Feng Mo, it does not stop her from being curious about such things. After constantly asking Al about some practical knowledge, and then combining it with his own understanding, Chu Yunjian finally decided that he would be very happy if he followed the trend and Mo spent one night. It seemed that some things had to be done in advance. He affirmed Chu Yunjian's status and expressed his loyalty to Feng Mo. As long as Chu Yunjian married him, he would obey Chu Yunjian's orders, provided that the interests of the Storm Galaxy, that is, Feng Mo, were not harmed. Chu Yunjian's education since childhood naturally included palace fighting. Women from big families like them were good at palace fighting and managing harems. They could naturally see Aer's sincerity and could not help but treat Aer as their own. As for the elf Queen Kailin, it was still to be tested. Just as the 2 women were talking about private topics, Feng Mo on the Hurricane ordered all the captains, the fleet's star shield is turned on at maximum power, and retreat quickly. With an order, the 23 starships turned on the star shield to the maximum power, and then slowly retreated. At this time, Halair on the opposite side was completely confused. He came here to complete the transaction for the Lord. Who did he offend? Under the fear of impending death, Halair completely collapsed and frantically called Feng Mo's video communication, but Feng Mo didn't want to answer it, because whether he wanted to surrender or something else, Feng Mo didn't want to accept it. Miss, Commander, the fleet's main and secondary guns have been charged, and the intelligent automatic aiming system has locked the enemy fleet. Please give instructions. The 2 female adjutants reported at the same time. Fire. The 2 women shouted at the same time, then looked at each other and laughed. At the same time, thousands of beams directly covered the 32 T4 starships of the Demon Fleet. Under this round of attack, it was almost impossible for anyone to survive. Chapter 91 Federal Auction. In one wave, 32 starships including Halair were taken away, leaving behind a large number of starship wreckage. Chu Yunjian waved his hand, and the adjutant behind him immediately understood the intention of the eldest lady and ordered the captains to clean up the battlefield and take over the 20 interstellar carriers in the Demon Galaxy. After this robbery, Feng Mo completely bid farewell to the hope of sailing in a short period of time. The Demon Lord will definitely monitor the movements of the entire Storm Galaxy day and night, but Feng Mo did not take it to heart. The Xinhuo system has prompted the completion of the temporary task. Temporary task: save the interstellar succubus in the Demon Galaxy. Completed. Reward: 1000 points. T4 Kangaroo class interstellar destroyer. Feng Mo clicked to receive the reward. Reward received successfully. Obtained 1000 points. T4 Kangaroo class interstellar destroyer. Now Feng Mo has gathered 5 T4 starships, namely T4 Hurricane-class interstellar battleship, T4 Kangaroo-class interstellar destroyer, T4 Sword and Shield-class interstellar frigate, T4 Furnace-class interstellar industrial ship, and T4 Scorpion-class stealth bomber. Among them, the first four T4 starships belong to the fleet's regular starships, and the T4 Scorpion belongs to a special starship. Now ELISA is busy building new interstellar industrial ships first, and then mass-building frigates and destroyers. This will take a lot of time. Feng Mo estimates that it will take at least half a year for the Storm Fleet to be successfully upgraded. During this half year, he will have to stay in the Starsea Human Federation. After taking a look at the newly acquired interstellar destroyer data, Feng Mo passed it to ELISA, and told her to produce 12 T4 Kangaroos to supplement the Storm Fleet after the industrial ship was built. T4 Kangaroo-class star destroyer, armor strength, 430 units, hull data, 1.3 kilometers times 2 speed, 310 knots warp engine, level 4 star shield energy, level 4, 100% weapons, T4 turbolaser main gun times 1, T4 pulse cannon secondary gun times 4, T4 neutron missile, T4 proton torpedo, T4 close defense rapid-fire laser gun times 60. The starship seems to be an upgraded version of the T3 Mantis blade. Although it is stronger than the general T4 destroyer on the market, it is limited. This starship is considered to be average. Now that Feng Mo has experienced the performance of the quasi-T5 starship Hurricane, his vision has been raised a lot. He no longer cares much about the performance of some T4 starships. Who likes the bad when there is a good one, right? People are like this. Half an hour later, the battlefield was cleaned up and the two starships returned at the same time. Chu Yunjian and Ao took the opportunity to use the optical tweezers technology to come to the main control room of the Hurricane to meet Feng Mo. At this time, Feng Mo was explaining to Hu Qin how to deal with this batch of slaves. As before, all 1 billion slaves were freed from slavery and turned into citizens of the Storm Galaxy under the Yunshan Empire. Then, the 1 billion people were divided into 70% and 30% between Storm Main Star and Bai Star. Especially when Hu Qin distributed the population, he must pay attention to the ratio of men and women. Before, he robbed the slave fleet of the Bai family and obtained more than 300 million people. Now he has obtained another 1 billion people. After this period of time, he continued to sweep slaves in the Auckland Galaxy. Now the 3 life planets in this Storm Galaxy have a total population of more than 2 billion. Among them, the population of Storm Main Star is 1.6 billion, the population of Bai Star is 400 million, and the population of Elf Main Star is 40 million. When Feng Mo originally planned, Storm Main Star could accommodate 7 billion people at most. Now it is only less than 1/5 filled, and it still needs population. Hu Qin has enclosed the area south of Storm Star as an alien planning area, specifically for the interstellar dwarves, interstellar succubi and tatters to live in. As for the elves, they can be sent back to the Elf Star. Yes, Commander. At this time, Chu Yunjian and Air came together, holding hands like good sisters for many years, which made Feng Mo stunned. The friendship between these women is so fast. Miss Chu is indeed a descendant of a famous family. She sat beside Feng Mo without blushing or beating her heart. She took the lead and said, "The Federation auction held by the Star Network Space has invited you for 2 consecutive years, but you didn't go. This October is the Federation auction, which is an offline auction held every 10 years, and many treasures will be auctioned. Dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals are just ordinary auction items. There are also some treasures auctioned, including interstellar seeds, quasi-T5 starship design drawings, and life extension materials. How about it? Are you interested this time? Anyway, you can't leave the Federation's sphere of influence for the time being. It just so happens that the venue of this Federation's offline auction is Hawaii Main Star. You might as well go with me to participate in the Federation's offline auction." Feng Mo nodded after listening. It was indeed as Chu Yunjian said. He really couldn't leave the Federation's sphere of influence in a short time, and it would take a lot of time for ELISA to build a starship. As for the task of design Huo system, It would take 1 or 2 years to complete it. It would be better to use this time to go to an offline auction. First, I can follow Chu Yunjian to see the market and accumulate some contacts. Second, I can see if there are any good auction items. Now, after nearly 2 years of operation, Fengyun Starship Trading Company has earned a lot of star coins for Feng Mo and others, including 4 dividends, each time more than the last. Now there are nearly 50 million star coins in the account of the Storm Galaxy, and Feng Mo's personal account also has 30 million star coins. In addition, at the beginning of this year, Feng Mo also transferred 300 million Yunshan coins to Yang Bo to replace the Starship and purchase the T3 interstellar defense system. He really doesn't lack money now. Fengyun Starship Trading Company is like a money printing machine. It's so nice to wake up every day and wait for money. Yunjian, I will send you the design drawings of 6 T3 starships and 1 T3 starship mecha later. Tell the company's scientific researchers that they can prepare for work. These 7 design drawings can just form a regular fleet. This can be used for publicity and a discount promotion plan. Oh, you finally let the company sell the T3 starships you designed. Now, more forces will covet our company in the future. Even a money printing machine can't make money as fast as our company. The design drawings that Feng Mo gave out were all regular T3 starships, including battleships, destroyers, industrial ships, supply ships, aircraft carriers, and starship mechas. Such regular starship mechas. As for the design drawings of interstellar missile ships and stealth bombers, he would never let the company sell them. He knew the power of these starships too well, so he would not and could not hand over the design drawings to the company. In the future, Fengyun Starship Trading Company will only sell regular starships, and special starships will only belong to Feng Mo. It's the same as before. I only provide design drawings. Those who covet the company will be left to you to deal with. I think this offline auction is a good opportunity. Yunjian, you can get in touch with more people who are interested in the company, and appropriately bring some people on board to jointly protect the company. Feng Mo's method is very simple. He pulls a group of people to fight a group of people. No matter how many people Chu Yunjian pulls in or how many shares are diluted, Feng Mo's position will not change, because the core things are in his hands. After nearly 2 years of discovery, Fengyun Starship Trading Company has already undergone many changes in its internal structure. Feng Mo created a Fengyun Starship Design Company at the suggestion of Chu Yunjian, Yu Ziyaming and others. Then used the design company to recover all copyrights of all starship design drawings of Fengyun Starship Trading Company at the price of 1 star coin, and then authorized Fengyun Starship Trading Company to produce and sell starships designed by Feng Mo at the price of 1 star coin. This will ensure the maximum security of the company. With the increase of shareholders introduced, even ambitious people will not be able to take the company away. The fleet returned to Storm Star smoothly. Feng Mo welcomed Chu Yunjian's decision to stay on Storm Star temporarily and wait for the federal offline auction to go to Huaiyao Star with Feng Mo. Chapter 92, Remarks on the Launch. Received the notice. It will be on the shelves tomorrow. As usual, I will write a thank you note for the release. 5 chapters with 11,000 words will be uploaded at midnight. I have been updating 4 or 5 chapters every day before. There are not many manuscripts left. I will try to write and publish more, so that I can make more money. I still have the attitude of writing books well. As for adding more chapters, I, a small loser, will also set a goal. The average subscription starts at 100. And 1 chapter will be added for every 100. As for the question of the heroine, I believe many people can see that the main wife is definitely Chu Yunjian, and there won't be too many others. I believe that the book lovers can see that the protagonist does not sleep with women for no reason. Each woman has been with him for at least 1 year and has a certain emotional foundation. This book has a complete outline. The author expects to write about 1.6 million words. And then the second book is about science fiction mecha flow, and it is expected to write 3 science fiction books. I believe many people can see that this book is a kind of patchwork, which is comprehensively borrowed from Navy, Encyclopedia, Eve, Lodge Lang, XQ War, etc. So there will be many similarities. I hope everyone will be kind. These years have not been easy. If you have the conditions, please subscribe. If you don't have the conditions, please give me a fierce order. I will be very satisfied. It is normal to follow and leave. There is no need to say bad things. Finally, the last one. Xiaopuji wishes everyone good luck and wealth. In addition, thank you for the rewards and monthly tickets given by the big brothers on the list. Thank you, bosses. I wish you a lot of wealth. Chapter 93 Auction Catalog. In the evening, after Feng Mo finished dealing with the extrusion of the Storm Galaxy, he walked out of the office alone and went to the next room. After intelligent recognition, he opened the door and saw three women watching an interstellar movie and eating snacks. Three women perform a drama, chattering so loudly that it almost overturns the house. When watching an interstellar movie, you have to comment on the characters, starships, etc. and the three women were wearing gauze pajamas. Feng Mo could vaguely see the graceful bodies inside, and his lower abdomen couldn't help but feel a little hot. Just as Feng Mo was about to close the door and enter the house, he was stopped by Al, who came over and said, "Commander, we have discussed it with Yunjian. This room belongs to the three of us tonight, so you have to sleep somewhere else." After saying that, he smiled mischievously at Feng Mo. Feng Mo's eyes were about to burst into flames. He was worthy of being an interstellar succubus. Every move he made could tease your mind. Feng Mo could only say roguely, "This is the commander's room. It's been occupied by the three of you. Where can I sleep? Why don't you add me as a roommate? The four of us can share a room." Before Feng Mo could finish speaking, Al's spiritual power came out of his body. The door behind Feng Mo opened automatically. Then he felt a force pushing him out of the room. Then the door closed directly, leaving only Al's words. "Commander, please go to the office and sleep tonight. Yunjian has said that when you marry her, you can sleep with us." Feng Mo secretly cursed. This Chu Yunjian had known earlier that she would not be allowed to come to Storm Prime. Not only did she occupy his room, she also occupied his woman and let him sleep alone in the office. This is intolerable. What can't be tolerated? Wait until later. This girl must be taught a lesson. Feng Mo cursed and returned to the office, lying quietly on the big bed in the lounge, calming down his inner desire, and then thinking about the next development direction of the Storm Galaxy. The Storm Galaxy is just a small galaxy. Only 3 living planets have been discovered so far. To vigorously develop the galaxy requires many prerequisites. One is the construction of the Stargate, the other is the prosperity of the population, and the third is core competitiveness. First of all, the Stargate is already under construction and is being built by the Federation Yunshan Empire. It is expected to be successfully constructed in June next year. Second is the population. After a series of means to supplement the population, it has grown from 500 million to the current 2 billion, and the results are beginning to take shape. Follow-up efforts still need to be made. Finally, there is the core competitiveness. Each galaxy has its own rich products, such as the White Hole in the Huaiyao Galaxy. The Yunshan Galaxy has a large number of T4 resource planets, and the Apocalypse Galaxy has a floating road in the Garden of Eden. These are core competitiveness. So what about the core competitiveness of the Storm Galaxy? The Elf Prime? Ancient Elf Tree? Or a succubus? A tatter? Feng Mo shook his head. Although there were many beauties in the Storm Galaxy, he couldn't develop the Storm Galaxy into the AZ Galaxy. When he went out later, he asked Feng Mo who he was. "Yatu, this is too ugly. How about planting the star seed of the ancient life-devouring tree, and then holding an auction every few years to sell the fruits of the ancient life-devouring tree? Not only can it bring in a lot of income, but it can also drive the overall development of the Storm Galaxy. Accomplish multiple things with one stone. But there are also hidden dangers, and that is whether the treasure can be guarded. Just when Feng Mo was thinking wildly, the smart terminal beeped. It was a message from Chu Yunjian, and it also brought an album of federal auctions. It happened that Feng Mo was so horny at this time that he couldn't sleep, so he opened the album and started reading. This auction is indeed the federal offline auction held once every 10 years. There are so many good things. Just flipping through the first page is a design drawing of a T4 destroyer. Feng Mo glanced at the starship data. It was ordinary. Generally speaking, the overall performance is at least 1/5 worse than the T4 Kangaroo, so I am not interested. The rest are some common things, such as resource planets, planet defense systems, mecha design drawings, live fruits, etc. When Feng Mo turned to the page of dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals, he became interested. After looking at it carefully, he was discouraged. Both of these two substances cost at least 10,000 tons. Feng Mo calculated that all his current wealth spent on purchasing dark matter raw materials might not be enough to build a quasi-T5 starship. Suddenly, he realized that he was not as rich as he thought, and the items that were auctioned next opened Feng Mo's eyes even more. Star seeds. The starting price is 100 million star coins. The starting price of the quasi-T5 starship design drawings is 80 million star coins. The starting price of T5 level combat armor is 240 million star coins. When Feng Mo saw this, he knew that there was no need to look. This set of combat armor is not the final item. It's really too expensive. Even if the entire Storm Galaxy is sold, I'm afraid I won't be able to buy this set of T5 combat armor. I don't know if this T5 combat armor can withstand the Hurricane's main gun. If it can, it would be a great treasure. Just when Feng Mo was sighing at the luxurious items in this federal offline auction, there was a slight sound of footsteps. After hearing this, Feng Mo had a smile on his lips. He was looking forward to who was coming. So Feng Mo began to pretend to sleep. Maybe the people who came were too nervous and didn't notice that he was pretending to sleep. Al carefully walked to Feng Mo's bed, lifted the quilt and got in like a loach, and then hugged Feng Mo's strong body tightly. Al's face turned red. The only weakness of the succubus women was their tails. Once they fell in love, their tails were the most sensitive part of their bodies. Listening to Feng Mo's even breathing, a smile appeared on A's red face, and then he rested his head on Feng Mo's shoulder and prepared to sleep. Who knew Feng Mo suddenly stood up and pressed Elle under him. This scene scared Elle so much that she almost cried out, but her mouth had been blocked by Feng Mo, and then she completely entered the state and entangled with Feng Mo. The two women who were still sleeping in the room opened their eyes at the same time after Elle left. After looking at each other, they seemed to have thought of something, and a blush appeared on their faces at the same time. Kai Lan was thinking about how to get involved, while Chu Yunjian was more ashamed and angry. At the same time, there was also a little expectation, looking forward to when she could slip into Feng Mo's bed like this, and she was looking forward to it. Feng Mo likes women. After all, everyone has a love of beauty, but he doesn't like promiscuity. The women around him only officially become his women after a long period of contact. In the lounge on the side of the office, on the big bed, under the guidance of Feng Mo, Elle posed difficult movements one by one, which gave him great satisfaction. Elle's body is very flexible and dares to try new things. Feng Mo is also willing to open up new channels. The next morning, Elle secretly returned to the room. As soon as he entered the room, he was interrogated by the two women who had already woken up. They asked him questions about Feng Mo's duration, the posture he used last night, his comfort level, etc. The openness and boldness of the topic made the three women feel extremely excited. As expected, when women are horny, men are really no match for them. Time passed by bit, and in the blink of an eye, it was the day of departure. September 26, 7494. Federal calendar. Since the venue of the once-in-a-decade federal offline auction is on the main star of the Huaiyao Empire, the Chu family is also one of the hosting families. There will be an offline cocktails party on the 28th before the auction on October 1st, so Chu Yunjian has to rush back in advance. Chapter 94 Shining Main Star. This time, Feng Mo only brought Haier and Kai Lan to follow Chu Yunjian and the other four on the Hurricane to Huaiyao main star. As for the cocktails party, Feng Mo didn't like the hustle and bustle, but this kind of gathering was helpful in making connections, not to mention that he was the son-in-law of the Chu family, so it would be unreasonable not to go. Commander, the starship is about to go to Huaiyao main star, passing through the U3 Galaxy Gate and the Snow Eagle Galaxy Gate on the way, and finally arriving at Huaiyao main star. The route design is complete. Please give instructions. Who, Keen reported on the side. As Feng Mo's adjutant and secretary, she naturally had to go with him, but she was only responsible for everything on the Hurricane, and didn't need to go to the cocktails party and auction with Feng Mo. Let's go. Yes, Commander. The Hurricane is about to enter the warp speed mode. All the crew members of the starship are genetic warriors above level 2. There is no need to start the deep-sea navigation mode. The Hurricane is going. Just as the Hurricane left the Storm Star, more than a dozen communications were sent out. These were spies from other forces. This kind of spy is very common and has almost become a phenomenon in the entire Federation. Because most forces will be planted with such spies. And similarly, they will also be planted for opponents, allies and other forces. The purpose is to know the movements of each family fleet at any time. At the same time, the Demon Lord Lawrence also received the news. When he saw the name Feng Mo again, Lawrence still couldn't suppress the anger in his heart. He has never suffered such a big loss since he was a child. This is the most serious loss. He can ignore the 1 billion slaves. But the loss of 32 T4 class combat starships and 20 T3 class carriers makes his heart bleed. Especially the loss of the 3 tribes of Succubus, Tata and Elves at the same time, which made the originally poor Demon Galaxy even worse. The slogan that the Demon Lord shouted to the outside world before was that all the beauties in the universe are under his command. Now this slogan has become a complete joke. The most beautiful ones have been deceived by Feng Mo. But he still has no way to deal with Feng Mo. No, it's not that there is no way. Since I can't move the Storm Galaxy, I can move you. Thinking of this, the Demon Lord dialed a video call. The person on the other side was Kiao Lao, who used to appear frequently. Lawrence was no longer respectful as before, and said harshly, "Help me find an interstellar killer organization to assassinate Feng Mo. How many star coins do you need to advance?" Lawrence's appearance of wanting to do things but not wanting to pay disgusted Kiao Lao. Since he used him to kill Bei Mushian last time, Lawrence thought he had a handle on him, and his attitude towards him has changed a lot. Now he dares to command him? Although old Kiao was angry, he also understood the truth. God wants to kill someone, so he must make him crazy. So old Kiao didn't care about Lawrence's attitude at all, but he couldn't let him pay. No, I'm just the chief steward of the Kiao family. If you need to contact people, it's okay, but I don't have a penny of star coins, and I don't need my status. If you want to find an interstellar killer organization to assassinate Feng Mo, at least 10 million star coins are required. He is worth this price. After hearing this, Lawrence showed a bloodthirsty smile and said, "I'll pay 20 million star coins." "Can you kill Feng Mo and all the women around him?" After hearing this, old Kiao completely lost his calmness and said in a deep voice, "If you want to die, you want the Demon Galaxy to be your burial place, you can do so, but I won't help you find the interstellar killer organization." "Oh, do the women around Feng Mo have any background?" Lawrence asked puzzledly. He could not underestimate it when it came to his life and property. Everyone in the upper echelons of the Federation knows that Feng Mo is the son-in-law of the Huayao Chu family and also the guest of honor of the eldest lady of the Tanqiu clan. Who do you want to deal with? Do you think you haven't died enough? Do you want to die a few more times? Faced with a series of questions from old Kiao, Lawrence had no complaints at all, and finally said helplessly, 10 million star coins, I want Feng Mo's head. Okay, old Kiao responded and hung up the video. Lawrence first transferred 10 million star coins to old Kiao, and then sent another communication, with another 10 million star coins. The content of the communication was also about assassinating Feng Mo. After receiving Lawrence's transfer, old Kiao sent a communication, and then used all means to transfer 8 million to the designated account, muttering to himself, "Is it not too much to charge you a 2 million star coin introduction fee?" The Hurricane sailed out of the Storm main star, entered the warp navigation mode, passed through the intergalactic space to the U3 galaxy, and then teleported to the Snow Eagle galaxy through the Stargate. and queued up again to go through the Stargate to the Huaiyao Galaxy. The Stargate of the Huaiyao Galaxy is still some distance away from the main star of Huaiyao. It takes only half an hour to reach the main star of Huaiyao in the 4th level warp speed mode. Here, we encountered a queue again. Because it was close to the federal auction here, the nobles, families, and parliamentarians of the major empires with a little status all took starships to the main star of Huaiyao. Welcome to Earl Feng Mo. The route has been planned. Please proceed according to the planned route. The starship is docked at starport number 4. Thank you for your cooperation. A mechanical sound sounded in the main control room. After an hour and a half of queuing, the Hurricane finally docked at starport number 4. Feng Mo led the 3 women out of the beam and came to the starport. The 4 of them first took a flying car to Chu Yunjian's secret base. You can't just wear combat uniforms when attending a cocktails party, as it will look out of place. Feng Mo also needs to change into aristocratic clothes to follow the local customs. The 2 women, Air and Kailin, have their own special cocktails party clothes. Compared with Air's black dress, Feng Mo prefers Kailin's green dress, which looks very dignified, like a queen who is the mother of the world, making people want to conquer her. After the cocktails party, I must let Kailin wear this dress to my room, Feng Mo thought to himself. The location of the cocktails party is located on the central island on the main star of Huaiyao. The island is not large, only hundreds of square kilometers, surrounded by water, and there is a waterfall behind it. Feng Mo and his 4 companions walked out of Chu Yunjian's secret base. A luxury fleet was parked at the door, and each flying car had a golden label with the word Chu. Everyone got on the flying car and headed towards the central island. There was a motorcade with the Chu family emblem. They went unimpeded all the way and went directly to the venue inside the island. The motorcade slowly stopped beside the red carpet. Feng Mo was the first to get off the flying car. He was wearing aristocratic clothes, a noble emblem on his chest, and a jade pendant representing the Feng family patriarch hanging around his waist. Since graduation, Feng Mo has been on the battlefield, experienced several large-scale Star Wars, slaughtered tens of millions of lives, and became the lord of a galaxy. He has a complex aura that no one dares to underestimate. After getting off the car, Feng Mo fully demonstrated his gentlemanly spirit and helped the 3 women out of the car one by one, then let Chu Yunjian hold his arm, and Air and Kailan followed behind, and the 4 of them walked towards the cocktails party. As early as when the Chu family motorcade parked outside the manor, many bigwigs who were attending the cocktails party had noticed it. Looking at Feng Mo who got off the car first, many bigwigs in the field were quite concerned about this young man. After all, the rise of Fenian Starship Trading Company squeezed too many shares of Starship Company. Since it is related to their own interests, these bigwigs have no choice but to pay attention. Chapter 95 Cocktail Party. Feng Mo led the 3 women through a long corridor and came to the reception hall. The service staff were all simulated robots. It was very convenient to give them instructions using a smart terminal. Today's Federation is highly intelligent, and smart robots have brought convenience to human life. However, the Federation is also on guard against all intelligent life. For example, most of the intelligent systems used by starships and mechs are semi-intelligent and do not have active learning transformation ability. Also, the intelligence level in the entire southern part of the Federation is very low. Most of the people control machines to do things. Because the South is going to war with the machine race, the intelligence will be invaded by the machine race and instigate rebellion, and become a boost to the machine race. This cocktails party was a large social place. After entering the cocktail hall, Ala and Kailin found a corner to sit alone, and they exchanged experiences in dealing with Feng Mo. Feng Mo, on the other hand, was taken by Chu Yunjian to visit the big guys who cooperated with the Chu family. Feng Mo has also made some achievements now, but most of them are just for the sake of the Chu family. These big guys I have a good impression of Feng Mo. and I don't hesitate to praise him. These are all connections that can be used in the future. It does not mean that they can help you at critical moments and take the initiative to help you. The real connections are when you are fighting against a hostile force. Those who don't want to help or make things worse for you are called connections. Feng Mo followed Chu Yunjian around and then returned to the corner where Al and Kai Lan were. He took a drink from Al and handed it to Chu Yunjian. Then he picked up a glass of red wine and drank it down. These people I just introduced you to are all cooperating with the Chu family. When you first meet, just look familiar and say hello. There is no need to have a deep friendship. These people have a typical business mentality and only care about profits. Chu Yunjian held Feng Mo's forearm, stood on tiptoes and whispered in Feng Mo's ear. After speaking, he playfully kissed Feng Mo's earlobe. Feng Mo hugged Chu Yunjian's waist and couldn't help but pinch it a few times, causing the beauty to roll her eyes at him. Then she lay next to his ear again. Her cheeks were slightly red, and she whispered, "I'm ticklish." The three simple words have a charming and blurred tone, as if they are hazy after being drunk, making people want to see clearly, but it is very blurry. When they hear it, they feel itchy in their hearts. Don't make trouble, so many guests are watching. You are the noble eldest lady of the Chu family. Feng Mo said one word at a time. He was very angry after being teased by Chu Yunjian just now, and he wished he could do it to her now, but this was a banquet, so he had no choice but to give in. Seeing Feng Mo's uncomfortable look, Chu Yunjian giggled. She didn't dare to laugh loudly, so she could only giggle quietly, like a pleasant bell. "Let's go, the important people are here," Chu Yunjian whispered, and then took Feng Mo's hand and came to the stand in the center of the banquet hall. The real big guys gathered here today, and those just now were just with a little status. Second, Uncle Mo, Uncle Zheng. Before anyone arrives, the sound comes first. Several small groups gathered in twos and threes in front of the stands. Chu Yunjian took Feng Mo to the group on the far left. Feng Mo only knew one of them, his second uncle Xiangrong, who helped invite Professor Luo last time. Xiangrong looked at the young couple walking over and laughed and introduced to the people around him. "Let me introduce to you. This is Feng Mo, the sweetheart of the Pearl of the Chu family, the son-in-law of the Chu family, a famous starship designer in the Federation, and the Earl of the Yunshan Empire, a true young genius." Xiangrong unceremoniously gave Feng Mo the highest praise. This kind of occasion was not the time to be humble. Of course, he should be arrogant, although the words of praise could not come from his own mouth. But when they came from the mouth of an elder, they seemed very special, reasonable. "Now, Mo, let me introduce to you, Mo Qingyun, Marquis of Huaiyao Empire, Deputy Commander of Huaiyao Fleet, Lieutenant General. It's not too much to call me Uncle Mo." "Hello, Uncle Mo," Feng Mo responded obediently. "I have heard of you, the youngest starship designer in the Federation. Many of the starships you designed are very popular. When you withdraw from the T4 starships, you must let me know. The Glory Fleet must place a batch of orders for you." Mo Qingyun first looked at Chu Yunjian and nodded with a smile, and then said to Feng Mo, "Uncle Mo, we have made an agreement. Fenian Starship Trading Company has launched 5 T3 starships, which are selling very well. If Feng Mo designs a T4 starship, Huaiyao Fleet will definitely support it," Chu Yunjian said teasingly. "Haha, definitely." Mo Qingyun reached out and pointed at the naughty Chu Yunjian. This time he completely responded. "When Fenian Starship Trading Company launches the T4 starship, show it to Mo Qingyun. As long as the performance is not good, too bad, at least I can get an order from Huaiyao Military Department." "You, girl, I kidnapped your Uncle Mo as soon as he came. Feng Mo will introduce you to an elder. This is Zheng Tong, the Minister of Intelligence of the Huaiyao Empire, a member of Parliament, and a college classmate of my uncle. You should keep in touch more." Xiangrong said a few symbolic words to Chu Yunjian, and then continued to introduce. "Hello, Uncle Zheng, I'm Feng Mo. I'm no stranger to Mo. Yesterday, Duke Hoa of the Council took away a copy of Mo's information." Zheng Tong said with a smile, but there was a lot of information conveyed in the words. Xiangrong looked a little solemn after hearing this. patted Zheng Tong on the shoulder and said softly, "Thank you, old classmate. Lao Xiang, how many lives have passed between you and me? Are you embarrassing me in front of this junior by talking about this? Let Yunjian lead Feng Mo around. Can Yan and the three of us are going to drink." After Zheng Tong finished speaking, he held Mo Kun Yan and Xiang Rong with his left and right hands and walked out of the banquet hall. At this time, Chu Yunjian led Feng Mo to sit down in the corner. At this time, tonight's performance had already begun in the stands, and the first program started naturally. The most exciting one is the mixed dance between men and women. These are all humans, but they all have the same characteristics. That is, the men are very beautiful, and the women are very charming. If there are fancy guests present, they can be taken away directly. You only need to tell the robot and then swipe. Just pay a small amount of star coins. Very convenient and very direct. Those sitting here are all people in power who have lived for a long time. Outside, they must pretend to be compassionate every day, treat their people with fairness and justice, treat the Federation with passion, treat the Empire with loyalty and serve the country, and have given themselves such a good reputation. Too many labels. They are actually very tiring. Therefore, this type of drinking party is often a good place to vent. Everyone is a 1,000-year-old fox, so no one should look down on anyone. Feng Mo saw a female noble immediately taking away 6 handsome men. This scene made Feng Mo a little stunned. There were 3 rounds, and 2 rounds came in turn. This night basically went on non-stop. Every big family has some political enemies or feuds, and the Chu family is no exception. The Hua Yehua family is a political enemy. Duke Hua personally sent someone to get your information, which means that your excellence has been spread to these people. However, fortunately, they can't touch you no matter in the Glory Empire or the Storm Galaxy. While watching the performance, Chu Yunjian gently leaned on Feng Mo's shoulder and said, "Soldiers will stop us, and water will cover us. I have many enemies. I don't care if I have one more family. Let's go. This place is no longer suitable for us to stay." Watching the demons dancing wildly in the field, Feng Mo said to the 3 girls, "If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels." Chapter 96 Assassination. After Feng Mo finished speaking, he led the 3 women out of the banquet hall. As the 4 walked along the corridor toward the outside of the manor, Al moved his feet lightly and slowly stood behind Feng Mo on the left. Kai Lan, who received the signal, quietly came to Feng Mo's right rear. Feng Mo looked at Al calmly, then continued to embrace Chu Yunjian and walked out of the manor, while gently drawing circles on his back with his index finger. The 4 people walked through the corridor under the guidance of the intelligent robot. Just as they were about to walk out of the manor gate, a laser came to Feng Mo in the blink of an eye from 1,000 meters away. Feng Mo was not panicked at all. He first gently pushed the beauty in his arms to Kai Lan's side, and then tapped his chest lightly. In an instant, a metallic liquid like black water appeared on Feng Mo's body, instantly covering his whole body to form a black full-body armor. Google searched Boom. At the same time, the laser approached and fell directly on Feng Mo's chest. A huge explosion sounded, and Feng Mo was also hit back a step by the impact. "I'll escort Yunjian back to the manor. I'll go see what's going on." The 3 women didn't have combat armor, so it was safe to stay in the manor. At this time, an alarm sounded inside the manor, and countless soldiers in combat uniforms and holding laser guns surrounded the entire manor. Alan escorted Chu Yunjian back to the manor, and Feng Mo was relieved. Xiao, combat armor, scanned the direction of the shooting just now, and the footstep thrusters started, and the whole thing turned into a beam of light and flew in the direction of the shooting. T3 level combat armor already has a certain flight function, and the built-in oxygen can allow humans to survive in space for at least 7 days. When Feng Mo flew to the top of the building, the assassin had already gone to nowhere. There was no light in the building at all, and the employees must have gone home after get off work. No. Why? Let Yunjian be notified to grant you the authority of the planetary star curtain, and do your best to lock the assassin's trace. The intelligent system built into Feng Mo's combat armor as an avatar of Zhao Zhao is a real intelligent life with the possibility of learning, self-evolution, and self-renewal and construction. As for the star curtain, it is an artificial intelligence atmosphere. Under the sky curtain, the entire planet will be monitored all day long, and the monitoring authority will be concentrated in the hands of the military high level, the parliament members, and the top nobles. No. Why received it? Miss Yunjian has been authorized to mark the assassin's traces. Feng Mo, who was wrapped in black, saw a light blue screen in his eyes. The design structure of the entire building was on it. The assassin was hiding on the 18th floor of the building. There were 4 red dots in total, proving that there were 4 people. After scanning, there are 3 level 3 gene warriors and 1 level 4 gene warrior. Please be careful. The building is surrounded by time bombs. Do you need to notify Miss Chu to send someone? No. Why? Notify Yunjian to block the entire street, leaving no one behind. In addition, there is no need to send anyone. I can solve it myself. Let her stay in the manor and don't go there. Feng Mo said and jumped directly from the top of the building. When he reached the 18th floor, the thrusters on his feet started, and the whole person floated outside the window. The location of the 4 assassins was learned through scanning. At this time, on the 18th floor of the building, 4 men in black combat uniforms leaned against the wall of the building and waited quietly. To be honest, they were not professional killers, but occasionally worked part-time and received outsourcing work worth 700,000 yuan from the intermediary. To assassinate a noble, the 4 came to the designated location. 1 was on the lookout, 1 was shooting, and 2 were setting bombs around the 18th floor. When the man with the gun fired, the 4 saw a scene that made them regret for the rest of their lives. The noble who was hit actually had combat armor. The 4 thought that it was bad, and this was a setback. They hurried back to the temporary base on the 18th floor to discuss measures. Originally, they thought that they would shoot the noble to cause chaos, and then the 4 would escape in the chaos. But things did not go as they wished. Feng Mo had found them at this time. The handsome face under the mask smiled slightly, and the armor on both shoulders flipped open, revealing dense micro-missiles, and the micro-radar automatically locked the position of the 4 people. 50 micro-missiles on the left shoulder, with tail flames directly penetrating the glass of the building, were fired directly at the 4 killers. The reason why Feng Mo did not fire 100 micro-missiles instantly was that he wanted to leave a survivor. If the level 4 gene warrior could not even withstand this wave of attacks, then he could only blame himself for his fate. When they saw the micro-missiles, 3 of them had already become numb, turned around and fled desperately, with no fighting spirit in their eyes. Only the level 4 gene warrior glanced at Feng Mo, took out the detonator and pressed it hard. Boom. The whole building shook violently, and the 18th floor collapsed directly. The terrifying impact instantly knocked Feng Mo away, and countless building debris fell to the ground, smashing the flying car parts on the side. Fortunately, the street was blocked in advance, and no casualties were caused. These 4 killers were so cruel that they even blew themselves up. Feng Mo couldn't figure out why they placed so many bombs here. Were they planning to die together with the soldiers who came in to search? This should be the only possibility. Oh, there is still 1 person who was not killed by the explosion. It's a bit lucky. The micro-radar keeps scanning the entire building. In Feng Mo's field of vision, there is only 1 light spot left out of the original 4. This light spot has landed on the 1st floor from the original 18th floor. This light spot is very bright and even a little dazzling. Alarm! A quasi-T5 energy body has been found. It is being scanned. There is no record in the database. Please be careful, Master. Oh, there is no record in the database. This is not a human? Feng Mo slowly landed at the entrance of the building. The building seemed pitch black, but in Feng Mo's eyes it was as bright as day. However, when he saw the red dot just now, Feng Mo was stunned. There were originally 4 killers, but now there was only 1 left. Feng Mo was not sure whether this person could be called a human. He was at least 3 meters tall now. His head had become a wolf's head, His torso had become a turtle's body, his limbs had tiger-like patterns, and both his fingers and toes had nearly 10-centimeter claws. No wonder I couldn't find the information of this monster in the database. This is not an interstellar race at all. Should it be a mutant or a stitched monster? Feng Mo was completely interested in the monster in front of him. This should be another monster developed by the madman. This is not uncommon in the interstellar era. There are always some madmen who advocate science and specialize in studying various genes. They like to merge the genes of various beasts, interstellar races, etc. with human genes. This kind of perversion was once rampant in the history of the Federation, and even developed various sects. Later, it was ruthlessly wiped out by the Iron Hand of the Federation. Its sect, believers, planets, and bases were all turned into ashes by the Star Destroyer cannon of the T-5 starship. Interesting, brother. Can you still speak with a wolf head? If you can, say a few words. I'm a little curious. Say a few words and let me hear what the tone is. Feng Mo's ridicule obviously angered the beast. He saw his legs slightly bent, and the whole beast rushed directly towards Feng Mo. The terrifying impact turned into a hurricane, but Feng Mo was wearing combat armor and could not feel the impact. Seeing that the beast was going crazy, Feng Mo spread his hands, and a ball of black metal flowed through, forming two black swords. Since you can't understand human language, I'll beat you into a pig's head. Chapter 97 Alien. Watching the monster charge towards him, Feng Mo indifferently picked up the long knife. His figure was like lightning, and he came to the monster in several consecutive ups and downs. The long knife in his hand glowed with cold light and struck the monster's wolf head violently. Boom. As I write this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. The terrifying impact blasted away all the fallen building debris around them. All the glass in the building was shattered. The ground where the two men fought cracked, leaving a deep pit with a diameter of 10 meters. Feng Mo took advantage of the impact and jumped back 10 meters. The monster was also knocked away by the force of the knife. Feng Mo Dinking took a look and saw that the monster was unscathed, and the long knife only left a slash on its head. White imprint. At this time, Feng Mo remembered the wolf that the older generation talked about, a creature with a copper head and an iron tail, a tofu waist. But this monster's waist was made of a turtle shell, so it was probably more difficult to break through. The armor on the right shoulder was opened, revealing densely packed micro-missiles. Another 50 rounds of micro-missiles rushed towards the monster with tail flames. Unexpectedly, the monster didn't even dodge. It covered its eyes with both arms and tried to resist. Boom. There was another explosion, and all the missiles exploded, throwing the monster away directly. According to the law of smoke without injury, the monster did not receive any substantial damage, except that the surface of the arms protecting its eyes was slightly charred. The continuous attacks completely angered the monster. It looked up to the sky and roared, and then stared at Feng Mo with a pair of bloodthirsty red pupils. The whole beast appeared in front of Feng Mo as if teleporting, with its giant claws from top to bottom. He grabbed towards Feng Mo. Well done. Feng Mo shouted, bowed slightly, and the long knife in his hand turned into a black round shield. Clang. There was a sound of gold and iron, and Feng Mo was thrown directly into the air by the huge impact. After spinning twice in the air, his foot thrusters were activated, and he rushed towards the monster again with the help of the impact. The round shield in his hand turned into a huge hammer and hit the monster on the head again. Thunderous blows resounded on the street. One person and one beast were turning around so fast that after images appeared, if there was a third person present, they would find that the monster was beating faster and faster. Feng Mo had gradually begun to fight. Some of them can't keep up. Along with the thunder, the ground trembled violently, a beast roared, and a ray of silver light cut through the sky, hitting Feng Mo hard on the chest. Even with the protection of the battle armor, Feng Mo's body was still sore from the blow, and his body flew backwards and directly smashed into the wall beside him, and then his whole body was buried by large pieces of rubble. Seeing that Feng Mo had finally been beaten away, the monster roared to the sky, like a gorilla, and kept hammering its chest, demonstrating its victory. Ahem. There was a cough, and a pair of armored hands stretched out from the ruins. Feng Mo slowly stood up, and the mask on his face turned into a ball of black water and flowed away, revealing his original delicate face. At this time, he was a little embarrassed. The armor on his body was covered with dust, and the corners of his mouth were red. It was obvious that the scratch just now caused a lot of damage to his internal organs. Enough, come again. Feng Mo condensed his hands into a huge sword, and the blade flashed with sharp light under the light. He dragged the sword and rushed towards the monster again, splitting Huashan with one blow and slashing towards the monster. At the same time, the 5 fingers of his left hand tapped slightly, and 5 rays of lavender light shot out, directly piercing the monster's chest. Then the sword came forward and directly chopped the 3-meter-high monster away. Feng Mo leaned his sword on the ground and exhaled turbid air. His slightly chaotic breathing showed that he had consumed a lot of energy at this time. The energy contained in this monster's body once reached a quasi T5 level. Feng Mo's 3rd level genetic warrior plus T3 high Yao level combat armor can barely compete with him, but he can't even talk about killing him. However, Feng Mo had integrated a piece of dark energy crystal into the battle armor, and later obtained a large number of dark energy crystals in the white hole, and strengthened the battle armor again, so the purple light just now could penetrate the monster's chest. Roar! With a roar, the monster that was knocked away stood up, coughing out a large amount of purple blood from its mouth. The 5 punctured wounds on its chest also left a large amount of blood. Looking at Feng Mo, his eyes were still bloodthirsty, but there was a faint hint of fear. Meaning. Probably knowing the power of this monster, Feng Mo no longer held back. The combat armor had more than this ability. Little Y, activate the ion laser cannon. As soon as he finished speaking, a ball of black liquid appeared in front of Feng Mo, forming a huge hand cannon with a diameter of 130 millimeters. Feng Mo held the cannon with both hands, and the radar self-aiming system automatically locked on the monster. Bye. As soon as Feng Mo finished speaking, he immediately pulled the trigger, and a light blue beam of light shot directly at the monster. At the same time, after seeing Feng Mo take out the hand cannon, the monster first flashed fear in its eyes, and then stared at Feng Mo with its bloodthirsty eyes. Then it opened its mouth, and the turtle shell on its back shone with red light. The back extends all the way to the neck. A ball of shining red energy appeared in the monster's big mouth, and then sprayed a red beam towards Feng Mo, which happened to collide with the ion laser cannon fired by Feng Mo. There was no explosion as expected, nor sparks flying as expected. The 2 beams of light melted into each other and disappeared completely. It was just that the space where the 2 beams of light collided was slightly distorted. Bang! There was a muffled sound, and the monster that shot out a red beam fell straight to the ground. It is detected that the target's life energy has disappeared. Continue scanning. After detection, the target is dead. At this time, Dao Wai's report sounded, and Feng Mo walked towards the monster. At this time, the dead monster had returned to its human form. This made Feng Mo feel strange about today's assassination, as if there was a mist covering the sky. Feng Mo, Commander! A series of shouts sounded from behind. Feng Mo turned around and saw 3 women and a group of soldiers in combat uniforms. These soldiers were wearing uniform combat uniforms with a Chu character badge on their chests. "How's it going? Are you okay?" Chu Yunjian came up and took Feng Mo's arm and asked with concern. "It's okay. Let your people take this body away and don't leave it to anyone. There is something wrong with this body. I will send you a video later. After you watch it in Yunjian, don't tell anyone about it yet." After Feng Mo finished speaking, Chu Yunjian waved his hand and asked people to take the body away, and then continued, "Feng Mo, this assassination should be premeditated. The hostile forces of the Chu family, as well as the Demon Lords, Snow Eagle Empire, Danqi Kiao family, etc., are all possible forces. Besides, there are no survivors left, so we can only deal with it later. Investigate it." Feng Mo nodded after hearing this and said, "Don't worry, Yunjian. Is there any way to get a batch of memory metal? I want to build combat armor for you. Otherwise there will be a dangerous situation like the day without the protection of combat armor. It's just too dangerous. Okay, leave the memory metal matter to me. Chu Yunjian said with some emotion. In fact, the Chu family also has combat armor, which is T4 level. But Chu Yunjian has never been hurt before, and has never used it, but she will not say such things. There's nothing like having something made for you by the one you love, and that alone kills them all. After everyone returned to the manor where Chu Yunjian lived, Feng Mo first lay down in the recuperation cabin with the support of Chu Yunjian. As the cabin door closed, a stream of blue liquid covered Feng Mo's body. During the scan, the patient's 5 internal organs were violently impacted, there was bleeding in the stomach, and 4 ribs were broken. The next 5 chapters are all about auctions and conflicts. In order to introduce new hostile forces in the future, a pit is also buried. If you don't like reading this type of content, you can skip it. Start subscribing from chapter 102. Thank you very much. Buddies support chapter 98 auction. When Feng Mo came out of the health cabin again, he felt brand new and all his injuries had recovered. This is the benefit of the interstellar era. As long as there are no problems with your genes, it is not a serious illness and a health cabin can treat it. If there is something wrong with your genes, you need to go to a specialized hospital for treatment. If you are willing to spend money, there are almost no diseases that cannot be cured. After coming out of the recuperation cabin, Feng Mo walked to the living room. When the 3 girls saw Feng Mo coming out, they hurriedly came forward to greet him. After everyone sat down, Chu Yunjian said formally, "Feng Mo, the Imperial Council and the major forces, especially the military, have asked me to express condolences to you and send you compensation. You have a quota of 100 million star coins as auction funds for this auction. This can be considered as a reward for what you have received today. Compensation for the assassination." Feng Mo was also startled after hearing this, looked at Chu Yunjian and asked, "The Chu family put a lot of effort into this matter, right? Otherwise, the Empire and the major universities would only be able to offer up to 20 to 30 million star coins at most. I'm not worth that much money." "Thank you, Yunjian. Just keep the money with peace of mind. Don't think it's enough. I let you be assassinated on my own territory this time. It's the Chu family's face that I've lost. It's normal to ask for more compensation for you. There's one more thing I want to tell you." "Explain." After Chu Yunjian finished speaking, his expression became extremely formal. Feng Mo couldn't help but sit up and said seriously, "Yunjian, tell me. It's like this. After internal investigation of the body and the video you gave us, it was discovered that these 4 killers were affiliated with an organization called the New Humanity Church. This organization was wanted by the Federation as early as 10 years ago. It was completely destroyed, and now a group of underground rats should still be active in the dark world. The Huaiyao Empire will join forces with the Yunshan Empire to issue an announcement to continue to eradicate the New Humanity Church, and the Chu family will also unite with major forces to issue a reward to the outside world." Feng Mo nodded after hearing this. He wasn't too worried about this new human's teaching, but he didn't know who wanted to assassinate him, and whether anyone would continue to assassinate him after the assassination failed. It seemed that he had to be careful when going out. After finishing the conversation with the 3 girls, Feng Mo returned to his room to rest. As usual in the middle of the night, Kai Lan slipped into Feng Mo's room this time and went to Washan with him. The fierce battle continued until midnight, before Kai Lan dragged his lazy body back to his room. In the next 2 days, Feng Mo stayed at home and enjoyed the gentle care of the 3 women. During this period, Chu Yunjian got a batch of memory metal, and Feng Mo also took the opportunity to personally measure the 3 women's figures with his hands. Among them, Ai is the most promising, followed by Kai Lan, and finally Chu Yunjian. The 3 women are all plump. Feng Mo also loves this type of women, and the beauty among them cannot be compared with that of telephone poles. October 1st, Federation Calendar 7494. Today is the day when the Federal Offline Auction is held, which lasts for 3 days. During the period, the total auction items are as high as more than 100 treasures. On average, At least more than 30 treasures are auctioned in a day. Feng Mo took the three girls to a manor in the south of the city early. It was more like a city within a city than a manor. Feng Mo looked at the giant manor in front of him, and the corner of his mouth twitched slightly. This manor was 10 times larger than his base on Storm Prime. Compared with the base, it was really nothing compared to this manor. At the gate of the manor, hundreds of soldiers with indifferent faces and wearing combat uniforms, holding laser guns, kept scanning the crowd with sharp eagle-like eyes. According to Al's mental perception, these soldiers are generally at the level of 3rd-level genetic warriors, and the captain of their team is even a 4th-level genetic warrior. It seems that this time Huaiyao Empire has taken out everything from the bottom of the box. Feng Mo teased while holding Chu Yunjian's little hand and walking on the red carpet outside the manor. Not because of your assassination. The security of the entire manor has been raised by at least 2 levels. There are currently tens of thousands of 3rd-level genetic warriors providing security, and there are also 5th-level genetic warriors wearing key 5-level combat armor at the auction venue. Just sit here and don't let anyone try to cause trouble at the auction. Walking along the red carpet and entering the gate of the manor, here is the first security review. Feng Mo and the 3 women were released after scanning the information, and then walked through the corridor to the interior of the manor. The venue for the upcoming auction is a huge building covering an area of 20 square kilometers in the center of the manor. Entering the auction house requires 2 checks, which are very strict. Those who can participate in the auction are all reputable people, and no one has any dissatisfaction with the multiple review procedures. She was waiting in line for review to enter the venue. She was very qualified. Feng Mo looked at the crowd and found it hard to imagine that the female aristocrat who enjoyed 6 handsome men at the banquet the night before yesterday was lining up in an elegant manner. The contrast was really too great. Intense. The 4 people from Feng Mo passed the review and entered the auction venue. There were huge holographic screens hanging around them, with hundreds of auction items scrolling on them. Feng Mo checked them roughly and found that they were exactly the same as the information Chu Yunjian sent him. VIP, may I ask what your seat number is? A female simulation robot said to Feng Mo and the other 4. Feng Mo did not answer. Chu Yunjian on the side showed the Chu family badge. After the female simulation robot scanned it, its attitude became more respectful. After bowing and saluting, he said softly, "The 4 of you are the most distinguished guests tonight. Your seats are in box 3 on the 2nd floor. Please come with me." After saying that, the female simulation robot hurriedly led the way. The robot shuttled around the huge venue for nearly 5 minutes, and then came to a transmission platform. This type also uses optical tweezers technology, and the effect is similar to the elevator in the previous life. Feng Mo and others stood under the beam. With a slight sense of weightlessness, 4 people and a robot appeared on the 2nd floor. After walking out of the beam, the robot took Feng Mo and the other 4 to a box with a nameplate hanging on it, which was engraved with the word Gizzy number 3 inches. The robot input the information just scanned into the intelligence system of the box, and the door opened, revealing the true appearance of the box. The ultimate luxury, as if in a palace. This is Feng Mo's evaluation of this box. At this time, the robot bowed slightly and then quietly exited the box. There is a huge holographic screen in the center of the box, which can clearly see all the scenes on the 1st floor, and can be zoomed in and out for a certain point. Around the holographic screen are 8 soft reclining chairs, covered with a layer of animal skin and a layer of plush. Feng Mo sat down with the 3 women. The soft feeling made people want to lean their whole body on the reclining chair. This experience was very good. After looking at the ordinary chairs on the 1st floor through the holographic screen, he sighed in his heart. This is the privilege derived from power and status. L, who was standing by, picked up the exquisite pastries on the table and gently placed them on the right corner of Feng Mo's mouth, while Kai Lan picked up the fruits on the table and gently placed them on the left corner of Feng Mo's mouth, so that Feng Mo could choose any one he wanted. L and Kai Lan's service made Chu Yunjian, who was standing by, speechless, and he could only give Feng Mo a big eye roll. When Feng Mo was enjoying the fruits and pastries, a crisp bell rang, and the originally noisy 1st floor suddenly became quiet. At this time, A beautiful woman in a white robe appeared on the high platform in the center of the first floor. The auctioneer's temperament was extremely eye-catching, dignified, elegant, intellectual, gentle, and poetic. The fusion of multiple temperaments formed a special temperament that belonged to her, attracting the attention of all the men present. This kind of woman is often the object that every man wants to conquer. Chapter 99 Interstellar Energy Seed. It's finally about to start. Looking at the huge venue on the first floor that was almost full, Feng Mo whispered with some anticipation in his eyes. There were more than 100 treasures in this auction, and he had never seen half of them in person. This was a good opportunity to learn. The three women on the side also stopped whispering and looked at the holographic screen. Good morning, everyone. My name is Leon He, and I am the chief auctioneer here. I'm sure you are all a little impatient. Now I will introduce the auction process to you. The auction will last for 3 days, with a total of 108 treasures. 36 pieces will be auctioned a day, divided into morning and afternoon auctions. I'm sure everyone has seen the album. The auction process has been introduced, and the auction will officially begin. Please welcome the first item. After Leon He finished speaking, she tapped the auction table with a small wooden hammer in her hand. At this time, a crystal table with a diameter of 1 meter appeared on the high platform, with a storage device on it. At the same time, a holographic image of a starship appeared above the high platform, which clearly recorded all the data and performance of this T4 destroyer. Leon He paused for a moment to give everyone time to digest. After about 5 minutes, she spoke again. T4 Arrow class star destroyer. I believe everyone has seen its performance and data, so I won't introduce it too much here. The reserve price is 9 million star coins, and the bidding begins. As soon as this reserve price was announced, Feng Mo knew that the final price of this starship design drawing would not be much higher than the reserve price. According to the general copyright transaction, the price of this T4 starship design drawing is about 9 million star coins to 30 million star coins. In Feng Mo's eyes, this starship is only average. To be honest, 9 million star coins is a bit expensive, but if it were the people below, they would probably bid about 15 million. Of course, Feng Mo's lack of interest does not mean that others are not interested. For the Starship Trading Company, this is also a considerable temptation, but its value will not be particularly high. Therefore, when Leon He finished speaking, a lot of electronic bidding sounds rang out in the auction hall. These were all the bids made by the people through the bidding system. This was just the beginning. Everyone was very restrained. If they really encountered something good, it was estimated that someone would stand up excitedly and shout out the bid. This starship design drawing was nothing special. After the heads of several starship trading companies continued to bid for a few minutes, it was successfully won by the VIP at seat 74 on the first floor at a price of 14.3 million star coins, which was lower than Feng Mo's estimated price. After the first auction was carried out smoothly, the next auction began to appear. Dazzling treasures, T4 level combat armor, T4 level resource planets, T4 level planetary defense systems, live fruits, female slaves, and other 16 items appeared in succession. In particular, the appearance of the female slave instantly brought the auction wave to a peak. This female slave was very legendary, half-orc, tiger girl, and 4th level gene warrior. She was once the queen of the Orc Kingdom. She had an explosive figure and was full of wild beauty. With the bonus of her former status, the price of the transaction was not low, 17 million star coins. Dear guests, this is the last lot of the morning auction, the Quasi T5 Star Destroyer Cannon. The reserve price is 20 million star coins. Leon He's voice caused a commotion in the field. Countless people looked at the giant cannon on the holographic screen above the stands. Such weapons are not easily accessible to ordinary people. Many people would not choose to take pictures, but it does not prevent them from being curious about such weapons. Feng Mo, who was in the box on the second floor, sat up straight at the same time. Among the more than 100 treasures, the Quasi T5 Star Destroyer can be ranked in the top 5. And it is also the only thing he can afford. This is not a real Star Destroyer, but a weakened version of it. but its power has also reached the quasi-T5 level, which is much more powerful than the two main guns on the Hurricane. 23 million star coins. Almost as soon as Lian finished speaking, someone made a bid. 25 million. There were quite a few people interested in this quasi-T5 class star destroyer, so less than 30 seconds before the bid was made, the previous bid price was covered by the new price. For the next 10 minutes, the electronic bidding sound kept ringing, and the price of this quasi-T5 class star destroyer rose from 25 million star coins to 43 million star coins, which was already beyond its original price. Even the cost of a real T5 class star destroyer might not be so much. However, it is very difficult for such weapons to flow out of the market, and there is no purchase channel at all, so the premium is already the norm. 50 million. Almost when everyone thought that 43 million was almost at the limit, Feng Mo made a bid. As soon as the price of 50 million came out, there was silence in the venue. 50 million. The distinguished guest in box 3 bid 50 million star coins. Is there anyone else who wants to raise the price? Lian, he asked 3 times in a row, and after getting no answer, he finally dropped the small wooden hammer in his hand. It was similar to Feng Mo's estimate. Even if the price of this star destroyer was overpriced, the final price would be around 47.8 million. He would definitely be able to get it with a bid of 50 million. When Feng Mo won the star destroyer, it meant that the morning auction had ended. He calculated that if he added the remaining 50 million star coins in his account and transferred some star coins from the Storm Galaxy account, he could probably make up 120 million star coins. There were 5 items that Feng Mo wanted to buy, and the star destroyer was only one of them. However, he couldn't afford 3 of the remaining 4, and he wasn't sure if he could get the last one. He didn't know if 120 million was enough. After leaving the venue, Feng Mo did not take the 3 girls to wander around, but stayed quietly in the box. Someone would deliver lunch to this VIP box, and you could also order dishes. After lunch, Feng Mo and the 3 girls attended the auction as usual in the afternoon. However, although the treasures in the afternoon were tempting, they were not of much help to Feng Mo. The special sessions this afternoon and tomorrow were all for the category of longevity. This category is not suitable for young people to participate in, but Feng Mo also thought of the life-eating ancient tree in his hand. After the T4 starship is fully built, he will plant this ancient tree. Feng Mo and the 3 girls did not attend the auction on the second day, but toured the main star of Huaiyao under the leadership of Chu Yunjian. The star destroyer that Feng Mo bought had been paid for by the Chu family in star coins and then transported to the Hurricane. On the third day, the 4 of them arrived as scheduled and appeared in the VIP box number 3 again. Today was the last day of the auction. The finale items were always the best, and there were many treasures that made Feng Mo very jealous. Unfortunately, the financial foundation of the old family was too far behind. It was still the elegant beauty Lian He. Feng Mo heard that the gossips of the 3 women of Chu Yunjian included this Lian He. It was said that many noble young men wanted to pursue her in the past 3 days, but they were all rejected. She said to the outside world that she was a lesbian and had a girlfriend and did not want to be disturbed again. This scene made many noble young men heartbroken and turned their grief and anger into strength. Even at night, there were 2 or even 3 women sleeping with him instead of 1 woman. Moreover, the identity and background of this Lian He were not simple. Those young men had been warned by their families before they pursued her. They did not dare to use force at all, so they could only rely on their own means. Of course, these young men were so crazy in pursuing her, which was also related to Lian He's background. However, these had nothing to do with Feng Mo. He was concerned that one of these young men was named Hu, who was the clan member of Duke Hu who transferred his file information. Chapter 100 Bidding. Good morning, distinguished guests. Chief Auctioneer Lian He is here to serve you. Today is the last day of the auction. I believe everyone can't wait to see the final treasure. Without further ado, the auction officially begins. Now, please welcome the first item. Lian. He made an opening speech as usual, and then knocked with a small wooden hammer in his hand. The crystal table rose up, and a tube of light green potion was placed on it. Feng Mo could see a blue seed contained in the potion through the holographic screen. I believe you all know that when humans are promoted to level 5 gene warriors, they need to meet the mental power standard to successfully advance. The standard is the materialization of mental power. The seeds in this tube of medicine are lineage flowers from the Decay galaxy. When they bloom, they bear fruit. The fruit of lineage flowers has the effect of increasing mental power, and it is one of the main ingredients of many mental medicines. The reserve price of this seed is 3 million star coins. The auction begins. Leon, his words caused a commotion in the field. This kind of treasure is hard to come by. Although the reserve price is not high, for some big guys who are stuck at the bottleneck of level 4 gene warriors, this treasure is more valuable than the treasure of longevity. Countless people looked at the holographic screen on the stage. Of course, they had heard of lineage flowers, but it was the first time they saw a physical seed, including Feng Mo. Just looking at this kind of treasure for a few times was also a long-term experience. Feng Mo was not very interested in this treasure. There was no level 4 gene warrior around him. Even Elle was still half a step away from level 4. The genetic medicine had been prepared for her. It depended on when Elle would break through. Besides, Air is a succubus, and the use of mental power is their racial talent, so they don't need the spiritual charm flower fruit at all. Besides, the price of this seed can't be low. Feng Mo saw that many people were bidding below. Soon, the auction price was raised to 30 million star coins, and there were still people who continued to bid. Even some VIP boxes on the second floor had people participating in the bidding. It was obvious that this special treasure was very popular. 10 minutes passed, and finally after the big man in the 13th box on the second floor bid 47 million star coins, no one on the first floor bid anymore. 50 million, if you can bid higher than this seed will belong to you. At this time, an electronic sound came from the 7th box on the second floor, quoting a sky-high price of 50 million, but the big man in the 13th box did not hesitate to directly increase the price by 5 million to take it. The next auction items also opened Feng Mo's eyes. Many treasures were only heard of but not seen. The quality of the 18 treasures in the morning was much higher than the first day of the auction, and the corresponding auction prices were also much higher. Moreover, the prices of many treasures were called up by the big guys on the second floor. After the lunch break, Feng Mo concentrated on waiting for the afternoon auction. The treasure he liked was the first one to be auctioned in the afternoon. Good afternoon, distinguished guests. The auction will begin. The first item to appear is the interstellar seed. This is a T4 level energy seed, which is one of the essential cores for building a biological starship. As we all know, energy-type interstellar races can absorb dark energy by themselves and release a large amount of energy at the same time, providing unlimited kinetic energy for starships. The introduction is over. The reserve price of this energy seed is 30 million star coins. The auction begins. Feng Mo sat up straight and looked at the energy seeds emitting light blue light on the holographic screen. This type of interstellar seeds has always been a rare treasure, because many people do not have the design drawings of biological starships. But Feng Mo's Xinhuo mole just happened to have it, and his points were enough to exchange for a T4 level biological starship. Feng Mo was determined to get this energy seed. 31 million star coins. Almost as soon as Leon he finished speaking, someone made a bid. 33 million. Many big families like to collect this kind of unpopular treasures, because they don't know when they can use them. It's better to be prepared, which is also called family heritage. Feng Mo is still far behind these families in this regard. 40 million. The first VIP boss on the second floor began to bid, which made Feng Mo a little nervous. He didn't know whether the star coins in his account were enough to buy this interstellar energy seed. As if sensing Feng Mo's nervousness, Chu Yunjian on the side held Feng Mo's big hand and comforted him. Don't be nervous, Yunjian Chamber of Commerce can draw 100 million star coins to help you bid for this interstellar energy seed. Feng Mo held Yunjian's little hand tightly after hearing it, shook it slightly and said, maybe you don't need to bid. Let's see if there are so many people competing. At this time, The bidding for this interstellar energy seed in the field has entered a white-hot stage, and the price has been raised to 70 million star coins. It's time to make a move. VIP box number 2 bids 80 million star coins. A burst of electronic sound spread throughout the auction venue, and Feng Mo directly raised the price by 10 million star coins. VIP box number 13 offers 90 million star coins. Another electronic sound sounded. Feng Mo raised his eyebrows after hearing it. It was interesting. He raised the price by 10 million in the hope that someone would give up, but he didn't expect that the other party would raise the price by 10 million, which was to make Feng Mo give up. VIP box number 2 offers 100 million star coins. Feng Mo continued to raise the price. 110 million. If you exceed this price, this interstellar energy seed will belong to you. This sentence was not an electronic sound, but the big man in the box said it through the loudspeaker. From the sound, it seems that he is not very old, less than 100 years old. 120 million star coins. Feng Mo also quoted the price through the loudspeaker. When this price came out, the scene became silent instantly, and everyone waited nervously to see if anyone would continue to raise the price. The VIP in box 2 bids 120 million star coins. Are there any other VIPs who want to bid? Leon. He also asked 3 times in a row. After getting no answer, the small wooden hammer in his hand fell. This interstellar energy seed belonged to Feng Mo. Among the next 14 treasures, there are 2 that Feng Mo wants very much. 100,000 tons of dark matter raw materials and dark energy crystals, but he has no money. There are only 10 million star coins left in Storm Galaxy's account. These funds cannot be touched because the T4 starship still needs to be built. Even if it is moved, it cannot be photographed. It is too expensive. Finally, we have reached the final stage of the entire auction, and the 3 treasures at the end are the Quasi T5 battleship design drawings, the mysterious star seeds, and the T5 battle armor. Everyone, the next step is the most critical moment of this auction. The data information of the 3 final treasures has been reflected on the holographic screen. Without further ado, let's start the bidding for the first treasure, the design drawing of a Quasi T5 class battleship. The base price is 80 million star coins. The bidding begins. Feng Mo shook his head after hearing this. The albums that the distinguished guests on the first floor received before the auction only had an introduction to the lot, and no introduction to the reserve price. Feng Mo could feel the people who were originally interested in this design drawing. After hearing the reserve price, they all shook their heads. The reserve price was so high, and the final transaction price would definitely break through the sky. The originally heated gazes in the venue suddenly decreased, but many people still tried to bid. After all, battleships can be used as flagships. 85 million star coins. Box number 3 reported the price coldly. 90 million. Box number 13 also reported the price. Neither of them used electronic sound, but a loudspeaker. The price of 90 million was only slightly quiet for a while in the entire auction house, and then a seductive voice sounded. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.